Hey gang, this is Fillmore, just letting you know that if you enjoy our podcast, quite frankly, a Howard Stern podcast, and you'd like to donate some money for the upkeep, or you want to request certain clips, please donate to our Patreon page at patreon.com/JimFix. That's JIMFIXX. You can donate as much as you want for as long as you want. There's absolutely no obligation.
Ralph had one of everything, and then I would put on my underpants. And then I would
sashay out.
And then I'd parade around. And then, in order to feel more comfortable, we pretended I was at a gay club, walking around in just my underpants, and to see if everyone at the gay club enjoyed me. And when we voted on my underpants look, and that was really gay. You know, I was very gay.
It sounds gay because it was just the two of you.
Yeah. And then even Ralph said, you know, you don't need to keep parading around. Why don't you just try them on, and whatever ones you like, we can order.
Right. He doesn't need to see you.
Yeah. And I go, what's the matter? You don't want to see me?
Joe, hi. You're on the air. Hey, man.
Howard.
Yeah.
What's going on?
And nothing.
Listen, I think it's time you come out of the closet with Ralph.
Oh, please.
Because I know deep down, I mean that literally.
All right, so I'm a homosexual.
You're a sword swallower.
Right. I'm a homosexual. You're right.
Thanks, Howard.
Right. What can I tell you? I'm caught. Good. In fact, that's good. That would be easy. I'd love to be gay. It'd be so goddamn simple. And then when people ask me about why I'm separated from Howard, I just go, you know what? I'm gay.
20% of American men had at some time in their lives at least one homosexual experience. Now, you told me every man did.
Yeah, well, every man has, but only 20% will admit to it. It's a pretty embarrassing thing. Every guy has at least had a sword fight.
Now, wait a minute. Would you say that just because you had, and you want to believe that every man does?
I never had a sword fight.
Not a sword fight, but you had a homosexual experience.
Yeah, well, yeah, if you want to call it that. I mean, I was a young child, of course.
I think that's why you want to just label every man.
Every man has had some kind of homosexual experience.
Oh, I watch every movie.
I got to tell you, I had the same thing for a while. Like when I first started therapy, you kept asking me about like gay feel, like, you know, gay this, gay that. I go, listen, dude, let's cut that shit right now. I said, I got no problem with gay people. Dude, I'm not gay. Because, yeah, but, you know, you have to explore that side. And I go, bullshit. I'm not exploring that. I got no problem.
Yeah, what do you mean explore?
I like chicks, dude.
So, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest now for this particular segment of the podcasting. As I said before, we don't know if this is 2 or 3 parts. We're going to try to make it 2, but if it gets a little longer, we might have to split it up into 3. Welcome. Why don't you say your name, mystery guest?
Hi, this is Raven Alexis.
Woo! And she's and she's mic'd up, and she's mic'd up good and proper as well. So,
thanks for having me back. It's good to be here.
Mm-hmm. We realized when we tapered off the last episode, the last section of what we were recording, we missed completely June 2nd, and it's not as important as the other stuff. But we thought, just for the sake of the fact that, number one, I cut up all these fucking clips, I didn't want to not use them. But it's
God, you're amazing, by the way.
Sam got 10 clips and she was all happy. Then she saw what I had, 30 clips for June 3rd. She goes, I'm such a piker.
You know when your kid comes home and they just bring home like some subpar piece of shit art and you have to like pretend it's great and put it on the fridge. That's what my contribution was.
Or the 8th place ribbon for the 100 meters. You don't have the heart to say, yeah, that's great, honey. You didn't actually stumble over the finish line. I'm proud of you.
Thank God for Raven in the morning thread. Thank God.
Yes, and Josie as well, and everybody that's a regular, which is, and actually we already gave a shout out to Brendan Flaherty, who helped us out big time.
Kayla.
And Kayla. There's so many. We're going to forget people.
Cindy.
We don't mean to. Cindy.
Yeah, there's so many. We have Kayla and Daniel are coming back next week, and I look forward to them. They're great, but Brendan really stepped it up. Wow.
And
he doesn't even listen. Can you believe that?
I can believe it.
He doesn't even listen, and he's coming back with such great gifts and comments. I love him.
That's the fun. So June 2nd, we've got, this is where, excuse me, so we already explained that as of the 3rd, that was his first real mention of what was happening in terms of, coming back from their 1 week off, and they did not really, he didn't want, he was more concerned with Marfan Mike and is he dead, and all the whackbackers that are dead and not willing to come back because they want to get paid.
They basically addressed it like it was an episode of Full House or something. I mean, it was like family TV. It was just ridiculous.
So the clip number one, Robin's tweets put Wigarachi in the fetal position.
Robin was up all night. She was on some sort of high. I thought she was on drugs. I thought she called me on crack last night.
She
was shot out of a cannon
this morning, and I got an hour and 15 minutes of sleep last night.
Yeah, Robin was on some.
Yeah, go ahead.
An hour of 15 minutes of sleep. Maybe he knows about crack since Beth's been really cranking it up lately in those manic Instagram posts. But that's not anything. She's got to be crazy right now.
Well, yeah, and considering that she's already admitted she's back on chemo, and they've been doing this whole two-step, like, I don't know that, I don't know, do you mean me that I've got cancer? But didn't he just recently say, well, you've got cancer again, letting the cat out of the bag, but they've already kind of done it. You know what I mean, Raven?
Yeah, he said, you have cancer. And she goes, no, I had cancer. So she's kind of in denial on it, I think. Or she's just trying to, PR the crap out of it.
Well, this is my question. Do you guys remember? You remember when it first happened and they wouldn't admit that she wasn't in studio. And then finally, when they come back, they do the big reveal. She's back. Like, why did you bother lying for the whole time? Why? It didn't make any sense to me. If the whole point would have been to never admit it, I get it. But then to not reveal it, then reveal it. Aren't you making yourselves out to be complete liars?
Right. She had a whole emotional breakdown when she came back.
Sorry. Go ahead. No, that's the nature of doing it with 3 or whatever. Everybody's got to be on screen. Sorry, Raven, you were going to say?
Just that when she did come back, she had a huge emotional breakdown, like a meltdown, and she kind of lost it. But I mean, that's granted, that's totally allowable and understandable in her situation. But they had to tell guests, like, don't talk about Robin, don't mention where is she. And some of them slipped up and still did it. So the cat was out of the bag long before that.
Absolutely. So at that point, you're busted. Just admit it. Go ahead. Yes, Sam?
And they've never had a problem with lying. They do it all the time. I think that, though, the things that set me off, too, were, remember when that one guy who did all those amazing songs had cancer and he was probably on his way out and they called him? And she had that really emotional reaction. He was dying of cancer. It was the guy who did all those parody songs about Robin,
Psych.
I think.
Psych.
Yeah. And just incredible. He did that Queen one and oh my God, so many good ones. And she had a very strong reaction to that. And that was kind of my that was a while ago too. Geesh. Like what, 5-6 months ago?
Raven.
Yeah, Psych was amazing. He was blind. A lot of people don't even know that tidbit, but I had texted him. I'd found a way to get a hold of him online and just sent him well wishes and told him, hope he pulled through. But I haven't heard an update on him, and I'd have to look it up to see if if he got in remission at least or some prolonged time. But yeah, he was amazing. He was one of my favorite of all the Blobbin songs.
And the thing is, around that time, I also recall distinctly that you could tell in the audio and the delay of the ISDN that she wasn't in studio because she couldn't. There was definitely a disconnect, and she went on Wendy Williams' show when she did come back with that awful fucking pasta wig that she was wearing, and she said something like. Wendy admitted, she said on the air, like, I was told by Gary, don't make like Robin's here and stuff like that. So the cat was totally out of the bag there. But to me, it was funny that she revealed it and Robin didn't even go, oh, you should cut that out of the thing. We don't want people to know we manipulate. the perception of blah blah blah. But anyway,
maybe Robin
Sam.
did want Robin did want people to know. Maybe it was Howard that didn't want to talk about it.
I believe it's him. I don't believe it was her at all. I think it was more. She might have been along the lines of thinking, well, look, let's not obsess about cancer. Let's try to make it a fun show, and let's act like nothing's wrong. But I think you're right. It was more likely he decided, let's keep it quiet. Let's keep the focus on me for a little longer. So let's keep going.
Sort of weird high. She called my house last night. She was on fire. And I was like, uh-oh. I said to her, you got to calm down and do a show tomorrow. You just get some sleep. I don't know if I can sleep.
You better go to bed.
Are you on drugs over there?
No. You know me. I don't take drugs.
I don't know.
Except for the ones that she's using to keep herself alive. Just a quick question. So do you guys also think it was a matter of save this for when I'm ready to talk about it? Why are you doing this? You know, JD, why are you tweeting about your fucking wedding? Why aren't you bringing it up on the goddamn show? Raven.
Yeah, Marianne from Brooklyn called in and did his dirty work for him. So she said, Robin, you got to save those tweets for the show, just like they did to JD.
Yeah. And so as a result, she kind of took the wind out of his sails and maybe forced him to address this a little earlier than normal, but he still didn't. June 2nd, he's still not talking about it. It's still, the cat totally out of the bag. Go ahead, Sam.
The towers are down. The rubble's all over the street. Giuliani called in the cleanup crew, and then they finally decided to address George Floyd. Sounds good. It's just like, I can't believe how long.
Take the.
Yeah, go ahead, Raven.
No, I think it took King of All Blacks calling in to tell everybody that George Floyd had a porno.
That's right.
And Howard was like, you're totally making me uncomfortable with this. I don't like talking to you right now. And Robin immediately looked it up and found the porno. And she was like, yep, here it is. Looks like him. But Howie was just like, no. I can't. I'm too uncomfortable. So King of All Blacks put him on the spot a bit.
You'd think he'd be all about finding a big black dick in a porno, like just let's see what it looks like, just for the sake of, our edification. Yeah, let's see.
Drugs they prescribe for me.
I'm in quarantine, but I almost threatened to come over to Robin's to make sure she was all right. She goes, I am on fire. And
I told him, I said, if I touch the SpaceX, they won't need any rocket fuel.
Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
So on fire, I think means upset.
I think it means awake and alive.
And upset about what's going on. And Robin clearly has this problem where she can't express herself on air the same way she's tweeting, or maybe feels inside. This on fire thing, I think, is just, I'm pissed. So if you want to let me talk about it the way I want to talk about it, let's do it. But Howard is scared.
And imagine the frustration of now having neutered because of the Turk, and ultimately, ostensibly Howard. It really is his desire to have someone else, some gopher, tell other people, look, shush in the fucking hallways. You don't get on the air. Fred, you're going to go behind this fucking partition. We're never going to see you or hear from you until you fall asleep on the job. And then I got to berate you for playing the wrong clip at the wrong time. Sam?
You can blame Marcy as much as you want, but she's there because of him. And after all these years, do you not think everybody knows, even though that those judgment calls come down from her, it's not really him? It would be like if you and I are doing a podcast and then one day you're like, hey, there's this retard who can't spell coming in to do some HR games and tell you that you can't do and say the things that I don't like, but I'm not going to tell you personally. This person is, but it's not coming from me. I mean, come on.
Yeah, everybody knows the expediters is just a proxy. But either way, so she gets her way of saying whatever she wants on Twitter, and who can blame her? It's her own personal fucking life. She can do what she wants, but not on her own show, which she used to do for decades. She used to have a big fucking pulpit to preach and be pontificating and stuff. At any rate, like I should say, Brian Singleton, he messaged me and he said, I've got episodes of the what's it called? The Chatter. If you want to hear it.
Shut up. Really?
So he gave me about 4. I used to have them. I deleted them because I thought, what am I going to use these for? They're horrendous. I couldn't even goof on them. They were just so heavily produced. Every 15 seconds, there's a voiceover guy going, and now Robin discusses the stock market crash of 2007. Yeah.
Robin,
and then she goes into this completely chopped up piece of shit, and it's just her pontificating. There's a reason why she never got her own talk show, guys. So, do you guys remember the Chatter?
Yes, I do. And they were horrible. Will Murray, I think, was her producer on those shows. She just had him, running around getting clips of this and clips of that. And he used to go, I think, on Back Office Radio because they had that at the same time. Talking about, all that he had to do for her and to make her happy. But her show was just dry, boring. I think I need to listen to just one, and I'll get that flavor back. But they were a tough listen.
Yeah, and I think
I never heard it.
Okay, well, I'll send you both. I'll put it in the shared thread. And the fact is, imagine Will. He's got other shit to deal with now. He's got to fucking help produce this retarded show, and that he's at that point doing back office radio as well, which is way more entertaining. But nevertheless, let's keep going.
The first thing the guys told me was Robin was up tweeting all night, like tweet. She did 16 tweets.
Was it 16?
Yeah. Then you were fighting with people. You were commenting on the protesting going on all around the country.
So go ahead, Sam.
Do you think that Robin tweeting about this set off this whole avalanche of blackface?
Well, this is a good question because it was on the 3rd where we actually played. She said, and you've learned, Howard, no blackface.
Yeah.
Don't use blackface. And then that's been edited out of the replays from what people have told me, but I don't have the app, so I wouldn't know. You guys could tell for sure, when we do the live chat and explain that's true. When the clip I got, it's in there, obviously. But why edit that out unless it's something you don't want out there? And clearly, he had a mandate. There was no real pause on his part. He didn't go. People made it sound like, oh God, there was a 10-second. You could hear a pin drop. No, it was he. They carried on as normal. But then why get it out of the replay?
Well, and then
I heard it.
Storm.
Go ahead. Hands up, baby, hands up.
Sorry.
Go. It's okay. We don't do this normally. Sam.
No, then the tweet storm. So that's what I'm saying. I think that. Well, I know that Jackie Chair was like ferociously tweeting, like made it his mission to get this into the zeitgeist of Twitter. Like, even though we all have, he really, 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 really went for it. And between that and I think Robin tweeting extra about this had something to do with it.
Well, the most recent sort of, I think, who was it? Okay, Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon's sketch from SNL in 2000, I believe, was the most recent sort of outrage thing. But people are forgetting about, there were so many during the Channel 9 shows. He dressed up as Spike Lee at one point. He did Milli Vanilli. I think we addressed this already. But and then later on, like that's bad enough. And doing the Whoopi Goldberg, Ted Danson at the Friars Club, of course, that was awful too. But more recently, like in the 2000s, he was still heavy on using the N-word. He'd have Sal come in and do it all the time. Like make that. Remember when Sal did that Michael Jackson parody of what was the song? Thriller. But he used the N-word instead of Thriller. And then they played it as if to say how awful it was, but they still played it.
All I know is she called me, and afterwards I just looked at my wife and said, I gotta have her in top shape for the show tomorrow. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm almost like want to send some. I'm going to send that Captain Dennis over to check on her.
Well, Howard, to see the comparison, like before yesterday's 16 tweets, the last time it looks like Robin tweeted was May 3rd, so about a month ago, and it was about how she wanted to watch the Natalie Wood HBO doc. So that's usually what you expect from Robin's Twitter feed. And then all of a sudden, yesterday, it explodes with "Don't fall into Trump's traps." They are.
Okay, so that's the 30-second one, so we have to stop right there for a minute. But Jason's going to do the rundown for us.
Obvious and easy to see. Keep the protest civil and disband before dark.
For any of you who appreciated Robin's Twitter feed, like from weeks ago, where it was just very calm.
Right,
it'll be
don't
back.
believe we'd expect that ever again.
No. I believe you'll return to that.
This will wear off.
Yeah, I think Robin's pitching for a vice presidential nomination. That's what I think's going on. But
yeah, go ahead, Raven.
Yeah, I just hear like this giddiness in Robin's giggle. She is so proud of herself, her 34 narcissistic self that is getting attention and getting celebrity attention on Twitter. She don't give a shit. Fuck you, Howie. I'm doing what I want to do. And I love that. I was ready to call in to the wrap-up show, but I didn't, and defend Robin that day, just because I wanted to hear more talk about the protests and the riots. And Robin was the only one making any headway in that area. And Howard just danced around it for days. Days. It took him 9 days after Floyd's death to even come close to addressing it. And that was only because King of All Blacks called in. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
He pushed Robin to the side. He had Marianne knock her down a peg. And then it was just derail to the next stupid topic or fake caller or email victory lap. It was just, it was pathetic.
Sam, you wanted to say?
Nope.
You had your hand up there for a second, and then all of a sudden. The next one is called Keep Your Heads in the Refrigerator.
You got to calm down.
There was no calm. It looked like it was all within like a 2-hour time period, all your tweets.
What else was in there?
Yeah.
Oh, lots of retweets.
Yes.
So Jason, right, he is the Twitter, he has to be the
Gestapo.
Yeah, he has to, that's what he's been relegated to, I guess. Back office radio. See ya. What else? So he's a producer, which means I have to stalk Robin's tweets. What a life. Or whatever the Stern Show's doing. I guess that's his role.
Do you guys think it was a case of Howard wouldn't have even known if Jason didn't message him?
Yeah, I agree. He's the office narc.
Yeah.
So he's patrolling everybody's social media. Why not? I mean, what else has a guy got to do? He's got 100% driven to kiss Howard's butt and turn in anybody who's doing anything that he thinks could result in content for the show.
Yeah. And so as a result, this is the result. And so in this case, do you think if he hadn't have done it, Howard wouldn't have even clued in and wouldn't have checked his Twitter? Because he doesn't do anything on his own Twitter anday, really. It's the Stern Show one that's active, and someone else is responsible for that. He has nothing to do with the Stern Show Twitter account. But
Robin tweeting frenzy, it might have gotten back to him either way, because she's such an integral part of the show.
But then I think he just said that Beth came up to him. So Beth's keeping, because she's up on all that shit.
Oh, that
Instagram.
bitch is up on all that shit. That crazy lunatic with no life. Yeah, she's up on all that.
So she would have been.
Check out all the articles about her and what is it called? The Blaze? The Blast? The Blast.
The Blast, by the way, is
crushing it and saving the planet, guys.
The person involved in the Blast co-founded TMZ, so there's no reason to think they are not associated or one has nothing to do with the other. And from what we understand from the serious Reddit mole was Howard pays TMZ 5 figures to keep bad press of himself out of TMZ. And he's talked about having done that before to like National Enquirer and stuff like that. Because I mean, they had Mike Walker in regularly for segments and we're getting ad revenue from there. So it makes sense that it would be a total puff piece that they may have even paid for, or as a result of giving them this money, they're also saying, look, when we ask for a piece, can you put this out, bit of fluff? And they're like, it's online. Sure. It's not costing us anything. It's just, sure. She's a kitten rescue. Here we go. And he's doing this to offset the Black Lives Matter thing and the blackface thing. Go ahead, Sam.
Doing this to offset the Black Lives Matter thing, and also because these random blast pieces come up and they're all about Howard Stern's wife crushes it with Instagram pics in her bikini. And it's like, who the fuck wants to see this 50 or pushing 50-year-old drunk in a bathing suit? Not a soul. And you got to be kidding me. So then she comes out with this. It's, by the way, the article's misspelled twice. There's two things that are misspelled in it. It's how she offset Howard in blackface repetitively saying the N-word was picking up balloons on a beach and saving a crab's life tangled in balloon threads. Are you kidding me?
Right. So Page Six has picked up on it. The iHeartRadio article, I can't remember Jim Forbes. I can't remember the guy's name. I retweeted it. I found it and then I retweeted it. And then the other one from the Daily News, I think, or was it the Sun? But either way, one of the British websites, tabloid websites, picked up on it, and all they did was basically take the meat of Page Six article and then throw it in. And Grillo's featured, and you went after Grillo,
Forbes.
so.
Right?
Yeah, Forbes also, yeah. So there's definitely some play here that he cannot get away from no matter what. And it's just a matter of to see how far it'll go and if he actually addresses it or apologizes. I don't think he'll ever apologize because he can't. And Bob D, this one's for you. He's never going to... Remember the Lena Dunham thing? Never did apologize. They said it was an apology, but he never said, I'm sorry.
No, we covered that. And so if you go to Google and you go Howard Stern and you go to news, it's the Page Six, the Forbes, and then it's the blast. Howard Stern's wife, Beth, crushes Instagram with hot in all caps, bikini body while saving the planet. And it's really, Fillmore, it's her picking up balloons on the beach looking like a drunk scarecrow with a hat that is the most embarrassing looking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Hold on.
Howard Stern's wife, Beth, shows off stunning body and smoking hot, skimpy yoga outfit. That was 2 days ago. So they are on overdrive thinking that Beth's gross body and face is going to somehow offset blackface. But, nice try.
That just writing it down to remind myself to, even though this is, as you guys know, it's mostly audio, but this particular one, I like to insert visuals for the YouTube channel. So I'll try to find the representative Beth bikini shot from the blast or the cover, and then throw it on the video.
I already took screenshots of it.
Well, I'm saying, but for the purposes of this, for the live chat purposes, and it's astounding how out of touch she and he are, and that this is what he decides he's going to orchestrate. Let's do this to detract from it, or to make like a watered down whatever controversy I may get from it. He's fucking worried as shit because they're getting all these Google alerts. So I'll play the next little bit. Oh, sorry, Raven, you wanted to say before I continue that clip.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just going to run down. So I just Googled Howard Stern blackface. And okay, so besides, you mentioned Forbes, Page Six, there's 2Fab, the U.S. Sun, Hot New Hip Hop, The Blaze, Meaww, MEAWW, The Inquisitor, DNUs, YUZ. There's so much here. It's the Jewish Voice, for Christ's sake, is doing articles on him and blackface and how.
Oh, right.
Publications
they've all caught on. Report Door, Valor Guardians.
Well, this is how they're countering it. Howard Stern's wife, Beth, may be the most beautiful person on the planet, inside and out. After the bombshell motto just shared a video of herself cleaning up the beaches with the hottest bikini body ever! !
Well,
in this clip shared on Beth Stern's Instagram page, Mrs. Stern and Howard are walking along a beach picking up metallic balloons that have fallen from the sky and landed in the water. The king of all media is shooting video, and the message is clear. STOP, buying those balloons and letting them go. Plus, my wife is the hottest environmental spokesperson ever. All in caps. Then they show her carrying garbage. As you can see, if is hard not. So this is how it really
verbatim.
As you can see, if is hard not to see the devastation the balloons are causing.
You know, the East Indian call center guy that has to write this, I feel bad for him.
Yeah, I know. And there is so much no eye candy along with it. And there is so much along this one strip of beach. It take both of Beth's hands to carry it. Okay.
Did this come from John Mayer? Did this come from John Mayer's collection?
Yeah, of wig articles.
Right.
In the photo, Beth is sporting a smoking hot black bikini top and a pair of red bottoms that are just peeking out of that denim skirt. Save the planet, Beth captioned the video. Fans reacted immediately in all caps. Oh, make me cringe when folks release balloons in the air. Adding,
there's riots going on. There's protests going on, but this is what we're going to try to put articles out.
Fillmore, stop being so insensitive. Balloons are ruining the world. Adding, that's why Howard hates balloons and parades. You're, with capital, both awesome.
Fish lives matter.
and then it goes, pay close attention, and it's her dragging garbage on the beach. In the video, Howard makes the announcement for people to stop killing the environment and buying and using metallic balloons for parties. As you can imagine, with graduations from school going on at this point, no, there's not because of COVID, you fucking morons who are writing this article. There are more than normal in the atmosphere. But like we said, if you are showing off if showing off your smoking hot bikini body for people to pay attention, then it's totally worth it. The sad part is, in the video, Howard shows off how the destruction of the environment has already cost us a life. Check this out. And it shows a dead crab in balloons. Unfortunately, by the time Howard and Beth came across a set of balloons, the string attached had already cost this crab its life. It's not funny. This beautiful creature got caught up in the trash and was able to free itself. This is important for people to see and change their behavior. Actually, spending the day walking on the beach with Beth Stern in a bikini while picking up trash sounds like a great way to spend the afternoon.
You know what? This could not be...
I'm not done.
Okay.
This is what a bomb beach day should look like, and it shows her in a 5-year-old bikini, polka dot bikini picture. The best part is that some hater jumped on the comments of Beth's post saying, how come you're not wearing a mask? Howard is bashing everyone and their mother about not wearing one, and here you are without one. So she posted another sexy snap with it on saying, for all the people saying I'm not wearing a mask, I was just out to share my message on a video about balloons destroying our environment. Jerry Seinfeld's wife, Jennifer... Her name's Jessica. Jerry Seinfeld's wife, Jennifer, came to her defense saying, they're envious of your abs. Yes, they are. 3 exclamation points. Bottom line, we all agree with this. Beth, you are an incredible human. Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
Oh, unreal. I'm so glad Jennifer Seinfeld agrees.
I didn't know Jerry was polygamous and he's got a couple wives he's got under lockdown. I didn't know about Jennifer.
Can you believe that article?
I can believe that. Well, the standard of journalism is in the toilet. It's been shit, especially online, when there's nobody checking anything. There's no one spell checking, grammar checking, nothing. Even big newspaper, real periodicals of note, they're still making all kinds of errors online because they want it out so fast. That whole process of being thorough with your work is like gone. So these fly-by-night companies, no one gives a shit. And no one, how many people are going to find that article except for us who are looking actively for it?
Fistmore, I totally feel you.
Thank you, Tabitha. So let's see if we can get through the rest of this one clip.
Retweeted Governor Christine Todd Whitman.
I just got an idea for Photoshop of putting that fucking cop who killed George Floyd, but instead of George Floyd, you put the crab underneath his knee.
No.
It's like, and put some kind of picture of Beth like pulling the crab away or something like that. It would be too.
Do it like something with the riots, but it's
like meanwhile.
like do riots, but like a crab getting shot.
Or a bunch of crabs protesting, like crabs with like signs.
Signs up, yep.
Yeah, and masks on.
Into these crises. Yeah, she retweeted Rob Reiner.
And he's never been retweeted.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first person that ever retweeted Rob Reiner. Wow.
Rob Reiner, by the way, is so Twitter active, it's not even funny. So I don't know what the fuck they're laughing about because he's extremely vocal on Twitter. There's probably no one I know on my Twitter feed that's as vocal, except maybe Gary Puppet. Let's.
I love you, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not going to go.
You total creep that kills everything. I love you.
Yeah, he's timely. The next one is called Meta Tzvi Talk with pre-coronavirus Tzvi. We've already had Hung Handsome Howard as a bit, so now he's this is the whole meta thing.
But on my phone right now, this is unbelievable. I am calling in from a few years ago before coronavirus.
Okay.
Jesus. Hello, Howard, pre-coronavirus. How are you? My life is pretty sucky now. It can't get much worse, you know what I mean? Oh, yes, it can, my man. Way worse. In fact, I'll give you a little teaser. Something really bad is going to happen.
Incidentally, those little dropouts you hear in the audio is not my audio. It's the original source material, guys. That's what's happening when they're doing Zoom. They still get these little glitches. Yes, Sim.
So who is supposed to be playing these responses?
I think it's him, personally. It normally would be somebody like Fred, but I think it's him because it's a little too fast. And Fred not being there, like even if Fred sees him, Fred would need like a wide angle of him and some kind of internal like messaging. I know Zoom has a what do you call it? Like a whiteboard, they call it. Basically, you just put on whatever you could share links and stuff like that, but it's not as interactive unless you have 2 or 3 monitors, one for Howard's reactions, one for what's on Howard's screen, and then one for, you'd have to have a monitor the size of your fucking wall to have everything on there to know exactly when to stop it. So that's him, absolutely, operating that. The same way I'm operating these clips. It's not that hard. And he would insist on that because Fred's been fucking up so often now. So, do you remember that clip we played earlier?
Yeah,
They're trying to play Beetlejuice clips and it's like, Fred.
Nap time.
Fred. Robin.
Oh, no. Are they going to move the show back to 6 o'clock in the morning? No. Oh, great. Whatever else happens can't be worse than that. Oh, it's worse. Trust me. Oh, boy. Do I have to do a lot of traveling for work? Is that what it is? Because nothing would be worse for me than traveling for work.
Except getting my own tissues.
No, pre-coronavirus, Howard. In fact, try this one on for size junior.
Go ahead, Zim.
Traveling for work, you basically get put into, it would be like when you leave your apartment and you get into a fucking stroller and then you get shoved into a car, and it's a car seat, but it's a giant limo. And then you only have to go, the daycare is a mile away, and then someone rolls you in there. It really is a travel to work.
Hold on. Is
anyone's commute a minute long, and people basically push you like you're in ambulatory care?
So hold on. You girls both had young kids at one point, even though they're getting older now. What is the name of that thing? It's not a backpack, but it's like a backpack where you put your kid in the back and you're hiking and you've got your child. There's not the front carry thing, but the back one. Is that what's it
The
called?
Bjorn carrier. It's a front pack carrier.
Okay, BJOR, like Bjorn Borg kind of.
Oh my
spelling?
God, that's the best Photoshop ever.
I'm thinking Ronnie with one of those on and Howard as a baby in the back. Like different ways he can be carried in a stroller, like one of those
Like,
Graco, kids strollers.
Can you have Beefus behind him picking up balloons with crabs everywhere?
She'll have the day. What's it called? The day pack with all the extra formula in it and shit. But it's not formula. It's almonds. Almond milk.
Oh, the diaper bag.
Diaper bag. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
King baby.
King baby. So
you won't be flying anywhere for years. Good. Sounds like I'm going to be loving 2020. I don't see any problem with that.
All right. Well, how about this? It also means they're canceling every Broadway show. They're canceling every parade.
Funny how he went with Broadway show first. I'm not
Where's
saying
he
anything
flying?
nice.
Where's he flying? He almost died when he had to go to George Takei's show. And he left after the red carpet. Where is he going? Coronavirus is perfect for Howard. Right, Raven?
Absolutely. He's never been happier. Are you kidding me? He just needs a servant. And that's Beth to bring him toothpicks and tissues and fruit washed in baking soda.
Yeah. By the way, I've never understood what's the purpose of washing a fruit in fucking baking soda. Tap water isn't good enough?
No idea.
Okay.
I have no idea. I don't know where he got that from.
I hope she soaks them in bleach and just leaves them overnight and said, "Here you go, honey."
He's wiping bananas. Sorry, he's wiping bananas with Clorox wipes. Hands up. Here I go.
Bananas with
Go ahead,
Sam.
Sam.
You're right. There is such a thing. Clorox wipes.
Yeah.
They exist.
Don't you peel a banana?
Oh, I didn't know
would
that. I knew all kinds of wet wipes exist, but never Clorox wipes. Jesus Christ! Every fucking item of clothing I have would be destroyed because I wouldn't realize I was touching it, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, with bleach, with actual bleach.
No,
disinfectant. It's not. I don't know that they're bleach.
Oh, okay.
But they're made by Clorox, and they come in all kinds of fruity smells like orange, lavender, lemon, citrus.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait. Raven, he's wiping down a banana peel with a Clorox wipe.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I heard about the blueberries and baking soda, but that would be like washing a box. Like, nobody wants the box. You want what's inside.
Well, when you pull out the banana from out Ralph's asshole, there's a little bit of there's some peanut residue you got to get rid of. So I'm sorry to disgust people, but after you hear the Ronnie stuff, you are not going to complain about whatever I have to say. I could not disgust you anymore. So let's go with a little bit more of that, and then we'll go to the next clip.
The Christmas party that we have for the staff, where you get to hang with everybody, they're going to have to cancel that.
When is the last time you went to a Christmas party and hung with people, hanged with people? I don't know how to say it. Hung with people. The Christmas party that you're looking forward to? Never.
The Christmas party that you fought over this year, that you made everyone make uncomfortable, and Benji mentioned one thing, and you blew a fucking gasket about a criticism and almost canceled it, and that's the only thing you do for people. Yay, Merry Christmas.
And guys, by the way, sorry, one sec, Raven. I'm just going to throw this in because I know I will forget. In 2006 and 2007, I tried both times. He got shit on for wanting to cancel Secret Santa and talking about the Christmas party, how we shouldn't have it anymore and stuff like that. And it's too much. Basically, he didn't want to do it and he didn't want to pay for it. That he would never say that. And people were giving him shit like, look, Jay Leno gave all kinds of gifts to his fucking staff and all these people. And when the people know you have $100 million, what's it to you to actually spend like $50,000 on?
I would be
like
spending
$500
so
each.
much money.
Anyway, sorry, Raven, you wanted to say.
I just want to go back to the staff party as, okay, in his eyes, number one, it's a tax write-off.
Mm-hmm.
It's company related. Two, it's also content for a show. So he's doubling down on the staff party and getting multiple uses out of it. Yeah. Like last year, he was using Tanko Harmar, JD's wife, for her and Mamet's girlfriend, Mary, for, all their dancing and sliding across the floor in the karaoke section of the end of the night, which he wasn't even there to see. He had other people video or show him clips of that they were posting on their own Instagram. So that staff party served multiple purposes, but he was just there for the dinner and to be, king dipshit sitting in the corner while everybody came up to him and like had to kiss his ring. But he was out of there ASAP. He didn't stick around. He just wanted to be, loved. And nobody wants to sit at his table, but they all do it because they're a bunch of fucking kiss asses. I can't stand them.
Yeah, it's
All right,
awful.
go ahead.
It really is.
I forgot about that part. That was good.
Yeah.
Oh, boo fucking who? I'm crying over here. Are you crazy? This sounds fantastic. I'm still waiting for the bad part. All right. I'm going to break the news to him, Robin.
Go ahead.
Let me put it this way. You're not going to ever leave your house, ever.
That's exactly what he wants. Like, let's be honest. He's never been comfortable anywhere else. And so, clip number 5. Sam, we usually read these. I've tried to read the boring ones so you can have all the better ones. Number 5, please, if you will.
COVID-19 has also penetrated Howard's anus.
Oh, no.
I think he got
done
the
with
heave-ho.
those people.
Yeah, he didn't like them. It is wild, man. This is the Wild West. This is like conspiracy theories. This is wild, man.
Oh my! This affectation just fucking annoys me.
What is this?
This is him responding. This is after the pre-coronavirus fee.
I mean, what is this accent he's doing?
It sounds a little like a cross between, I don't know, like a game show host and Paul Lynde a bit. It's wild. It's just wild. I'm not exactly sure. Anybody else? Is he mocking someone?
I think he's just trying to sound cool, young, and hip, and that's his version.
Ryan Seacrest.
In the ass that my asshole is bleeding. It is just wild, man.
Hold on.
This is wild, man. Our country's so fucked in the ass that my asshole is bleeding. It is.
Who comes up with this analogy, like about COVID-19? Because that's essentially what he's really talking about here.
Fillmore, it's the hip. It's the hip new way.
Do you know when I run out of pepper and I have to go to the supermarket, my first thought is, you know what? I'm so out of pepper. Yeah, it's like I just got fucked in the ass. And that's his go-to analogy anytime. It's always anal something. I don't get it. I just don't. Yeah, go ahead, Raven.
Isn't there a big difference between saying I got fucked in the ass and my ass is bleeding? There's like a phrase like, yeah, I'm fucked, or fuck my life, or fuck me.
Yeah.
But to say my ass is bleeding, come on.
Or fuck this.
Mean,
yeah.
It happens.
It's a little too visual.
I just got that image of the guy from 7 who's forced to fuck a prostitute. That like knife thing. It must be Howard's the victim.
Just wild, man. and then people go, why are you so down on the guy? I go, I just don't want him to be president. I don't know we need a president. Don't wear a mask. What the fuck kind of sanity is?
So it's another one of those Trump things that I'm not going to go into, and we're not going to discuss it. But he spends probably an hour most shows talking about Trump and masks. That's his big thing right now, isn't it, Raven?
Right, exactly. It's all Trump bashing, except for like right after Donald Trump Jr. got to him.
Yes,
he backed off of Trump for like a day and a half, maybe, and then he got right back on it. But he spends at least an hour on borrowing clips from YouTube of people not wearing masks and having meltdowns and trying to get attention on, other fellow narcissists, I guess, that are on YouTube, and just playing those clips. And he gets off on that. So,
Sam?
Well, then why wasn't his crab rescuing wife wearing a mask during that? Oh, I'm sorry. Giving a funeral for a crab wife. Wearing a mask on the beach for a video. Do you think that anyone, including Howard, would let her take her mask off? I don't think so. I think it's old footage.
Do they make a mask big? Do they make a mask big enough to cover those fucking chompers?
He's not going on a walk on a beach with her, and neither is she. It's old footage.
I think so.
That.
I mean, yeah, it's possible. But I mean, they go on, crab expeditions regularly and just save it for a Black Lives Matter problem. Go ahead. Smoke screen.
Do you think it's like a cat's birthday and balloons they had, and Beth's like ferociously popping them and just like throwing them on the beach for her to pick up the next day and videotape herself?
It's possible.
Helen Rose, it's your birthday. Pop, pop, pop. Better videotape me saving the planet.
the next clip, I can't remember exactly. I think the context was the what's the rowing thing that he talks about? The not
Hydro.
hydro. That's it. So this one's called Double Rowing Fantasy. Plus, Wiggy has a black belt in faggotry.
Beth comes off the hydro and she goes, I think I would have enjoyed rowing. And she means it. She's not fantasizing that she could have gotten laid. She could have been.
Right.
My whole life.
She could have got laid. Didn't she say I cheated on every boyfriend I ever had? Until I met Howard, my cheating days were over.
Guys, when you played sports and you had a fantasy of being the best at a sport or even playing a sport, did getting laid enter your mind at any point where you're like, I want to play softball and get fucked. I want to swim. And I mean, what the hell is he talking about?
Yeah.
I just would have enjoyed rowing.
Right. She enjoys it. Me, I'm in the room there doing the hydro with the instructor. I'm like, good Lord, I would have been so ripped. 6'5". My nose would have looked small because my abs and my chest would have been. No one would have noticed my face.
Bob, are you taking notes? Bob D, our NPD specialist, guys. We've got 2 episodes. Shameless plug.
Women would have been, oh, there's that guy, Howard Stern. He's on the rowing team. Look at his fucking body. It's on the whole. I have a whole fantasy.
We saw his camp body. You guys remember that one picture from shirtless at the camp where he looks like just looks like the Seven victim, the sloth victim. And he keep bringing up Seven. I should probably give David Fincher some royalties. But like he's never had a good body. It's only gotten worse.
Right.
Go ahead, Sam. If I had abs, he's got bones.
If he joined the rowing team, his arm would fucking pop off. It would just be ripped from his body like a landmine video.
You could just see when the oar goes back, him flying right off the whatever it is, the boat. Like the reaction because someone else is, the guy on the other side accidentally threw him.
See with you.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like, I took a couple of karate classes and then, then I thought I could beat everyone up. Meanwhile, the teacher just smacked me in the throat with his foot and put me down, and I quit.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure I got that because I knew Sam would laugh at me anytime he talks about his physical prowess or his lack thereof, and then we know we have the other clips where he said, "I couldn't somersault. That's why I left karate as a kid."
My God.
The end of the karate. But, it's just like I have fantasies of how, like, I would have been ripped in college. My ass.
Wait a minute. What? My dad is 62. Okay. I've never in my life heard him once reminisce about days when he wishes he was good at karate or rowing.
I wish I had abs in college.
I would put him in a mental ward. I don't even know. I'd be like, Mom, you gotta leave.
I could see it if your dad was walking around in a pink frilly bathrobe and like pink slippers and saying this, with a lisp.
And has people in a well, tucks his penis and says, "You like my body?"
Oh, fuck me. Oh, wait, was she a great big fat person?
Would have started high school. I would have been acceptable
That's
there,
right,
too.
yeah.
Yeah. Like, I watched the Michael Jordan documentary, and all of a sudden I went, you know what? If I had just had one male role model turn me on to basketball, my whole life would have been different. I lived in an all-black community, but I would have been, like, so accepted because I could have played basketball.
Nope.
So all he needed was a male role model, and he could have dunked. He could have.
Hand-eye coordination isn't important, I guess.
No. You just need a male role model. If Ben had literally taken him to, like, bought him a Spalding, he would have been fine. No, it doesn't work like that, Wiggy. Sorry.
All the guys on the team are black. I would have hung out with them. I would have
been in the locker room watching their dicks go by.
You would have been on Space Jam.
He's got the physique of late stage Bugs Bunny in Space Jam.
And the coolest white guy on the planet. as I'm watching the Michael, like, if only I had just concentrated on basketball. They didn't have the wherewithal.
But what did Michael say? It was with that all day.
Everybody knows Michael Jackson had a basketball tutor. Okay, the next clip. Let's get, because we got to get through this. Number 7, the world's most immature king baby talks shit about Ronnie's NASCAR fetish.
Hold on, I'm going to shut the door. Sorry, it's not like Ronnie.
The context is he decided, spur of the moment, Raven, there was nothing inspired this, is there, except why don't I show my basement? And this is where the bowling alley is. And he's got all the K-Rock swag on the walls and these guitars that he just collecting dust. And he thought he had like he was like a 13-year-old kid decorating his we talked about this before on the podcast. He was like decorating the way you would decorate your room when you were 13 with big pictures of Hendrix on the wall. Like whatever you thought was cool.
Like when I was a teen, my parents were nice and they like let me put poster boards and just tack up, with thumbtacks. And I had Leonardo DiCaprio and NSYNC, and it was just everywhere. That's how, and so he just decorates his room.
The Goo Goo Dolls.
He's been with NASCAR things. I was thinking about Ronnie's basement when we were talking to him yesterday.
Yeah.
Like a fucking 5-year-old. I mean, he's got like a tire from a car hanging on his wall.
I know. I always get stuck looking at the banners.
Yeah, what are those? We have to really get it.
Yeah, we really need to take some time with that.
So he's mocking Ronnie, but he's about to just go into this little tour of his house. Go ahead, Sam.
And he has a giraffe-sized statue of Bianca's ashes in an urn that Beth's posed next to near a fireplace. So, I don't know. Whatever.
Okay, number 9. I skipped number 8 because it was a little too long. Can you read number 9, Sam?
Oh, I hate you. How to decorate your mansion and make it look like... How to decorate your mansion and make it look like the Hard Cock Cafe.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that was a nice tour.
Better than
So
Ronnie.
you don't just grab those guitars off the wall and play. You where they are.
Well, I do grab them off the wall, and then I look at them, and then I put them back up because I realize I can't play. You know what it is? A couple of years ago, like 5 years ago, I decided I'm going to have a hobby. Do I want to paint or do I want to learn how to play guitar? I thought I went and took a few guitar lessons.
I realized painting a paintbrush is a lot lighter than a guitar. My frame will be able to handle it. Raven or Sam, you wanted to say? Go ahead. What's wrong?
That's Sam.
She's still composing herself. I'll play a little more in the meantime.
And then I went out and painted. And I said, fuck guitar. I'm going to paint.
Painting.
Jimmy Page said the same thing when they broke up Led Zeppelin.
It's better for you.
Yeah, I'm going to get good at painting. And so that was the decision.
All right. I didn't see. So you don't paint down there at all?
No. I paint upstairs.
Okay.
I have a little studio. Let's see from Rocco. Hey, Rocco.
Okay, go ahead. Before Rocco takes him to task, go ahead.
Wasn't Silver Nickels a hit?
Was it Silver Nickels and Golden Dimes? What was it called?
It was.
Silver. The B-side was Silver Nickels and Pennies I ripped off from the fountain at the mall.
What's up, man? Yo, I'm a fucking fan and a half. So, but I gotta ask you, how the fuck can you compare your lifestyle to Ronnie's lifestyle? And who gives a fuck about guitars, man? Like, I mean, honestly, you just went through your whole hard rock cafe. Meanwhile, you're critiquing Ronnie's shit. I mean, that kind of makes you look like a dick, don't you think?
But dude,
that's right.
Yeah, he does admit it eventually, but
I know
I'm saying I'm no better than Ronnie with my stupid. You know what? By the way, Rocco, because of your phone call, I am not releasing that tape to the audience.
And to this day, on the YouTube channel, there's no evidence that you see any of that video. He never did release it, did he, Raven?
Nope. No.
Nope.
Not at all.
Uh-huh. And I would have loved to have seen it. We've seen the pictures. I think it was like Architectural Digest or Architectural something that the pictures came out. When they did, people put like it was the engineer, sorry, the architect that actually put out the pictures without the names of who they belong to, and people started putting like clearly it could only be Howard's mansion, and he must have been so pissed when those came out.
Because what did you think of his house?
Oh my Lord. It matches his Louis XIV hairdo. It's so
no, tell you, what did you think
ungodly,
of his
extravagant.
Which one was your fave?
What, my favorite room in his house?
Yeah, which one?
Which theme?
Oh God.
It's like a bouncy house with all kinds of like stolen hotel swag.
Fucking
the Norwegian bed from the 1700s with the matching fireplace. Oh, fucking no. Are you kidding me?
I like all the urns of dead animals.
Oh man, my favorite still is the bowling alley, which he always goes to great pains. It's like the White House, the one Lyndon Johnson put in the White House. I think it was Lyndon Johnson. He's like, and Alec Baldwin talked about when they were bowling at his house, and he didn't want to mention it. Like he thought it was douchey to have a bowling alley. Who wouldn't love to have a fucking bowling alley in their house, even for just shits and giggles?
I know, right? And if you have kids over there, that would be great, but.
This is beyond concern.
That's a big no.
Yeah, go ahead, Raven.
I like to imagine the bowling alley has a button you push, and these like bulletproof walls drop down, and it becomes a shooting range. And then there's targets of Simon Cowell at the end, or Seacrest.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's like James Bond.
God. So perfect.
You just saw these bullet casings next to the return bowling rack or whatever the balls are.
It has a self-cleaning aspect to it. Yeah.
I want to see the Peloton room.
They will be deprived of seeing Eddie Van Halen guitar and a little tour of my basement shrine to rock and roll because of what you just said, because you don't get it. I'm saying I'm a big douchebag like Ronnie.
He's got the gold records from D-Light on the wall somewhere. What I found was really retarded about that was, and I will play it later because there's a clip, number 11, Wig Pussy is all butthurt about his 5-finger discount K-Rock decor.
I'll show off my junk. But now I'm having second thoughts since Rocco goofed on me.
Well, Rocco, thanks a lot. We were having fun.
I was trying to, kind of like be one of the guys and show you some of my shit, give you a tour of my house.
Show you my scarf collection. It's got its own closet. Just like me.
What a douche. This just sounds douchitude times 10.
It was not much different than, here, let me go film my closet and I'll talk about it for 12 minutes and then not show you. The thing is that I found funny was radio stations for years, they would get, it was payola in the form, it could be drugs back in the day, it could be money, it could be swag, concert tickets, free concerts given by an artist, by that company, if you play their record. Mm-hmm. So the gold records that they used to give these stations was really like, thank you for helping make such and such a hit, and they give you a gold record. It doesn't belong to Howard unless they determine that it's the Howard Stern show that broke us and it's attributed to them. But it usually goes to the general manager of the station or the person that owns it. So for him to take this stuff from K-Rock when there was a million other stations and they played all kinds of rock, he barely had music on his show. It made no sense for him to take that stuff and put it in his house, except in his mind, I am that station. That's my fucking gold record. That's my soap dispenser. I'm taking that too. It's like Steve Martin at the end of The Jerk. All I need is this ping pong paddle and this remote control. Sorry, go ahead, Sam.
That's so true. Do you think if he put a basketball court in his house instead of a bowling alley, he would have won?
You think he would?
I can't.
I just see him leaving K-Rock with the chair, the megaphone.
You think he'd have a championship ring?
He might with the Pelicans.
Michael Jordan, be jealous.
Yeah. The GOAT. Number 12. We're gonna go because we're almost through this day. Wiggy prefaces Ball Bash with a moment of truth because they start talking about this bondage S&M thing that was it Bobo, I think, or Wolfie. Wolfie went.
Wolfie.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna work out. Anyway, let me get this Ball Bash thing because it's a good way to end the show. This will ensure that everyone will tune out early. Most people in radio always try to get you to tune in. I'm going to make the audience leave.
Now he's joking, but he's not really. Is he, Raven? There's no way that's a joke. I'm going to get my audience to leave by listening to this shit.
I think that it's kind of like a double entendre joke where he's saying it, but he knows it's true. No one's turning up because that's actually one of the more interesting parts of the show all day, as sad as it is. This cock and ball torture, which they call Ball Bash. They compared it to Fist Fest, and they were saying that it was better than Fist Fest. And honestly, Josie and I agreed. Fist Fest was way worse because the sounds from that were so much more repulsive. So that made it better. And this is the weird way he's describing, like, it's going to make people tune out. But it actually made us, it brought more comments to the show in the morning thread.
Maybe for the wrong reasons, is typical.
For the wrong reasons, of course.
Yeah. 13, Sam. When you're finished, can you read that one, Sam?
This is the part where I crawl under the table and die. Number 13. Wig states his fisting preferences. Bye. See you guys.
Yeah. I think I'd rather have the fist in my ass than the ball torture. I mean, that's how bad. I mean, I wouldn't want somebody putting their fist in my asshole, but Jesus Christ, this ball torture. Listen to this. Women seem to, whether they were getting paid or not, they genuinely were getting off on torturing guys' balls.
I think, and you guys, everybody can choose to believe what they want. What's this? Hold on, Sam's holding up. Was it Barbie? What the hell is that?
It's a Barbie. It's a big Barbie. She's gonna come cup your balls.
You see the visual? It's like 3D house of fisting, 3D house of Ball Bash. With this, between this and the impacted shit we're gonna go on with on the 8th of June, and all this, he definitely has some kind of. And Bob D will tell us all about this when we do the sexual aspect of the taboo part of narcissistic personality disorder, covert narcissistic personality disorder, when we go back to it in a future episode. He must have some kind of fetish for scat, ass, anal stuff, because for 30 years he's been going on about anal fissures. Hold on, anal fissures. He's been going on about, I had my fingers up my ass, I tried to do this, I wanted Allison to do this, and anal sex. Raven, please.
No, Raven's going to go into the scat thing, but I'm going to tell you right now, I have a really hard time with something about poop and puke really just like, I can't, it's just, so like for me, none of this, I can't, I have a holy fucking hard time getting through this, and I am leaving this up to Raven for this issue because I'm literally going to be gagging, or I might vomit. I'm not even joking.
Sam, I will hold your hand the whole time. I promise.
Go ahead.
I'd like to call the whole subject fecal attraction.
Yes, you did some reading on this.
Instead of fatal attraction, I'm playing words on fecal attraction. And I think I'll save it for later, but let's just say we all know he has like an ass fascination.
Yes.
And when we get to the Ronnie segment, I'm just going to save it all for that. So we all know he did a fisting special, and this is just the beginning.
This is my personal Vietnam.
I never thought I'd be typing half the stuff I type in my life, but that's my gift, I guess. I don't know. You're welcome.
We'll make you some kind of participation trophy. Wiggy, not content to leave you without some gay action.
For those of you who are now tuned in and said, this isn't so bad so far. Why is Howard saying I'm going to tune out? You're going to tune out.
Actually, it's not as bad as you think, Sam, because I didn't include the sounds and stuff. It's mostly just the reactions because...
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, it wasn't because I was...
I can't do it.
Yeah.
All right. So those are the rules. Ivory Mistress J was worried about the health of some of the older attendees. So listen to this part.
Oh. The other thing with a lot of the intense ball activity, like the grabbing and yanking or kicking, I don't want to comment for anybody here, but a lot of men who enjoy playing are typically 50 and above.
And radio hosts?
So men who are 50 and older you start becoming much more prone to heart attacks. And so sudden, severe pain to the testicles can trigger a cardiac response. Let's see, please talk with me ahead of time about any play that you were planning that might result in bleeding.
Oh, for fuck's sake. So this is, again, the next few clips, guys, I guarantee you this is all directly related to, he knows the audience is gone, he knows he's not getting re-signed, and he knows about Rogan, but he only mentions it indirectly here when he mentions Spotify, but he still, to this date, has not mentioned the Joe Rogan deal, and you know he's pissed as shit. He's pissed as shit.
The blackface thing has surfaced because they need an excuse to get rid of him.
I think so.
Awful.
Yeah, and we're not about cancel culture, guys, just to get that out of the way. We're just more about holding him accountable. We've already said this, I think, in the other podcast. We're just more along the lines of, if Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon and certain other people are getting blowback, he certainly deserves it, if anybody deserves it. I don't think those guys should be getting...
The hashtag was cancel Howard Stern. So the only reason, like, if I retweeted or tweeted stuff and had that hashtag, it's because that's the most popular one that will get the most notoriety and people will see it. Otherwise, I don't... I mean, I want this awfulness to go on...
Yes.
To just embarrass himself more.
Right. It's not going to be... You're not going to get more traction with a, hashtag Whoopi Ted Danson Friars Club, as opposed to cancel Howard Stern or whatever the fuck was trending. And for a while there it was like finding a needle in a ball sack.
By the end of these clips, you will tune out. Wolfie spoke with Ivory Mistress J before the event. He asked her the weirdest thing a guy ever wanted done to his balls.
Okay. I'm not much into needles, but a friend of mine loves it, so I finally gave in, and he really wanted, like, needles in his balls.
Okay, that's all I'm gonna play of that. I'm just saying that. The next clip is important. Wiggy mocks his soon-to-be ex-boss, and I'm going to go to the timestamp in it. Jim Meyer has been doing a series of interviews over the last little while, and one of the quotes in the more recent interviews was, "We're not giving out stupid money anymore." And I'm sure that's directly related to Wiggy. I'm sure of it. Because the issue is, where's Sirius going? Howard Stern's contract's coming up. And he doesn't mention him directly in that particular interview, but he says, we're not about throwing big bags of money at people anymore. It has to be a different strategy. And this is before the Spotify deal with Rogan comes out. So here he actually mentions Jim Meyer as part of the gag. And who the fuck, when would he ever make fun of Mel Karmazin or whoever the fuck when he was at K-Rock? Never.
Chiasano.
We have our scrotum.
What can you do? Why are you limiting me?
Hold on.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, the very thing you think of first. She says, that's not a good idea.
By the way, Robin, the man who runs the entire Sirius XM empire, Jim Meyer, our boss, is on the phone. He loves this.
Oh,
Jim, you like...
He wants this to go on?
Now, hold on. So now, before I play it, again, I'll reiterate. This is passive-aggressive way he pissed off that he's not getting another fucking contract. In addition to the money he's already been paid for his archives. That's going to go on after this. And so why in God's name would you do this unless you knew you weren't coming back?
You want me to continue?
Howard, I don't like Ball Bash. I love it. A whole demographic of new subscribers. We're going to smash Spotify like a pair of bloody fucking balls. I'm smashing mine right now.
All right, Jim, I'll keep going then.
Fuck up.
This is a way to address all of those issues. His gay fetish, his degree of piss off over not getting a new contract, and Rogan. Without mentioning Rogan, without saying outright, this is how I feel. Your thoughts, girls. Raven?
Bingo. I just filled my card up there. It's passive aggressive as all.
Whoa, was it all balls?
And fists. It's really his MO to deal with stuff in a passive aggressive way, to have other characters say stuff that he wants him to say.
Mhm.
So yeah, it fits, and I'm sure someone in the back office had to suck it up and come up with a voice for Jim Meyer, which doesn't matter because nobody knows what he sounds like anyway.
No, of course not.
Yeah, he's super pissed. He's probably taking some super strength Xanax as we speak with everything that's flying around. At least I hope he is. He's stealing it from Beefus, probably.
The last one is one more passive aggressive Jim Meyer swipe.
Jim Meyer, the head of SiriusXM, is on the phone after our testicle torture segment. Yes, Jim.
Abort! Abort! Jump out! Stop the replay, Stern! This is the stupidest idea you've ever fucking had. Stop!
Okay, go ahead, Sam.
I can't, my ears are bleeding.
It's only a few seconds. What?
This is awful. I hate him for even making this.
Just the concept is retarded. I'm sorry, it's stupid.
It's so
just,
bad.
No,
If
no
you're
one-
going to
no
take a
one's
swipe
laughing.
at him passive aggressively, can you not do this? I don't know. What is
Right.
this, Looney Tunes?
Just plunge in.
Every day.
Robin, show your tits and save the company. It's our only hope.
Save the company. Save the company. They could have saved the company a lot earlier by letting him go after the AGT thing, letting him go after the fucking lawsuit, and saying, fuck you, let's get people that actually have listeners. They could have taken Joey Diaz. They could have taken Joe Rogan. They could have taken Mark Maron. They could have given Maron like $10 million a year. He would have easily done it and said, you have control.
Or how about you fired Kumia
Yeah.
for a tweet he did when he was being harassed?
And
in
I
the
don't like
street.
Kumia personally, but I know he's way infinitely more talented than Wiggy and has a more
So
devoted
much
audience.
more talented.
Yeah. So this isn't a political thing, guys. I really can't stand him, but I know he's got more talent in one finger than Wiggy does in his entire skeletal frame.
He's a total racist, no joke. But of
Right.
course, he's way funnier
Mhm.
than
And and still has listeners. He still has dedicated listeners. He's able to maintain a career. He started Compound Media with a couple other people.
he started it with himself, just doing shows in his basement, and he branched off.
Okay, I'm not that familiar with Kumia, but I know a lot of people like him, and he gets comics to come on that are current, that are relevant. He also is much funnier off the cuff, whether you agree with him or not. And
yes.
I know his past history isn't so great and shiny, but
No.
the guy's
Neither is
funny.
Howard's.
He's quick.
I
showed
my
what's Howard exactly?
I showed my dad something the other day. It was a PSA from like 1950 something, and they were playing it. And while they were playing it, they were talking over it. It was the funniest shit ever. And my dad was in stitches, and so was I. It was great. He's thoughtful.
The other thing is the sound quality. Like, he's actually put money into his own product. Wiggy has never dropped a dime on his own shit, and that's why all this Zoom stuff we had to cover of the last however many breakdowns we've done since the COVID-19 thing has forced him into Stalag fucking kitten, and the sound quality with Kumia's show and the clips I've heard, phenomenal. And it's because he has some pride. He wants it to sound good. He wants more listeners. That's the whole point. So you take away the incentive from Wig. What does he care? He'd fucking speak to you on a G.I. Joe walkie-talkie or Teddy Ruxpin before he'd, put money in on anything. So
A yak back.
So look into there's only a few seconds left of poor Jim getting his balls tortured.
Jim, what's going on? Are you at the stock exchange? Are those sound effects the stock exchange plunging?
It's my stock alarm. We're plunging. We're hemorrhaging subscribers. Fuck.
All right.
Okay, so he knows this. So he knows first, and there was something like 150,000 subs lost at the beginning of like April or something, or March, I believe, whatever quarter that was. And why he would ever address that in this day and age, and why has he ever addressed it? Never. Only now. Why? Yeah, Raven.
Real quick, just they opened up all of what was it, like 6 weeks of April and May free Sirius with Howard. Howard's an add-on. It's not even like your standard Sirius. So that's a sign right there that the company's floundering.
Yeah, and the fact is people were leaving in droves because they just fucking hated the content. And finally, everybody, not finally, secondly, we're going to go into June 8th. And there's only a few minutes of clips, but they all involve Ronnie's fucking impacted shit. And it revolting. It's beyond revolting, so I tried to cut it down to the bare minimum. But this will tie into something that Raven did a little research on, believe it or not. Yes, we are not all masters and PhD holders, but we do a little bit of reading here and there, and we try to prepare. Sam, you would like to say, my dear?
I just want to say that Raven is a patron saint in my eyes right now. Like,
Thank
there's
you.
like Mother Teresa from Calcutta and you.
All right. Quoth Raven, nevermore.
Just everybody buckle up. This isn't going to be pretty. It's not going to be easy. You might need a barf bag by your side, a stiff drink, some weed or some edibles to get through this. It's not for everybody, but this is what we were given. So this is what we're going to talk about. And I just like to call this segment Fecal Attraction.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
Go ahead for more.
Okay, but I am saying I'm going to ask you to read no matter what. So please get this one. Number one.
You motherfucker. I can't.
Come on.
Five fingers of limo driver.
I didn't even look for Vaseline or anything. I ran into the bedroom and I knew we had this this lube that me and Stephanie, use when we're fucking.
I'm out, guys. I've tapped out already. I'm sorry. It's like 11 seconds. I can't even. This is a septuagenarian. Now he's 70, isn't he? Ronnie's 70.
69. 69.
Can we just like push him ahead a little just to say he's 70 for the purposes of this show? And he's talking about his fingers up his fucking ass. It's bad enough when he talked about pegging, but now we're talking about big shit bricks coming out of his arsehole. Fuck. Oh, I'm sorry, folks. I'm so goddamn sorry. I really am.
Around and shit. And I ran in there and I got the bottle and I totally fucking my whole hand in the lube, okay? Poured it all over. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, what the fuck am I going to do here? And next thing I know, it's like, I don't know how these guys do this fisting shit, man, because I stuck my hand in there.
This is the same like hysterical revulsion I got when I saw Two Girls, One Cup. I know a lot of people were disgusted by it and they had to move up their eyes away. I couldn't stop watching and I was buckling laughing because it was so hideously awful. It was one of those things. It didn't. Go ahead, please, Raven.
Maybe that's why I'm so good at this. I skipped that Two Girls, One Cup video. I knew it would harm me in visuals for life, so I just skipped it. I heard about it, but no thanks. Pass.
Sam, if you want to take a little break.
What do you mean your hand? My whole hand, dude. I spread my hand all open as wide as I could, and I stuck my hand in there.
Wait a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. Wait, you got to.
Yes, Raven. Go ahead.
Okay. In all seriousness, listen to the sound of Wiggy's voice.
Yeah.
Listen to the way he is zoned in on this. Oh, we're losing Sam.
Sam's heaving.
I'm just gonna keep forging through like I do in the morning threads.
Power forward.
Wiggy's voice is so in tune with Ronnie and asking him questions. Just pay attention to the questions he asks and how in depth they get.
Yeah, absolutely. And in not in a case like, listen, this wouldn't be the first time the show talked about shit stories, but Artie used to do them hysterically. There was one where they bleeped out, because it was 2004, Dead Air Dave bleeped out the punchline, I suppose. And he was so good at being clean. He was really clean at it, pardon the expression. And he was talking about having to do an enema. And I can't remember, one of the film reviewers was on the line when he talked the story. It's on my YouTube channel. Just look up Artie's cop friend says decent or something like that, talking about a Broadway play when they were watching two girls get naked. And they, anyway, very uncultured story. And so at that time, it sounded like Wiggy just thought, okay, if it's funny, it's great. You're right. Now when you hear it, it's like he's getting turned on by this shit. Oh. So you listen for yourself, guys.
Stop. You're telling me
Are you sitting down when you're doing this, like on the bowl?
Yeah.
Or you stand?
Yeah. Well, both.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Sam.
This is horrible.
We don't even get an exhale. The Sam exhale. This is just revolting.
Opening the door to this.
Clip number 1. Read clip number 2. Number 2.
God.
Who?
Why are we listening to this shit?
Literally.
So I was standing there, one leg up on the toilet seat, and like spreading my ass open.
Right.
And now my hand is all covered in this goo, and I shove my finger.
Sam might have to take a break. I thought she was goofing.
I didn't think she was serious.
I can't do this. I can't
Sam,
do it.
Do you want to take 5 and just keep an eye on your phone?
Wow.
Sorry. Okay, hold on for a sec. Sam's gonna take a powder. She's literally retching from this, guys. So imagine what the serious, what are the serious stockholders doing right now?
It's disgusting.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Fillmore, what does this say about you and I?
I don't
Are
know.
we degenerates because we're fine with this? What is going on?
Okay, well, just as an aside, I'm skeeved out by needles of any kind, any size. Yet I could get tattooed, and I had no problem with that. I mean, I hated the pain, but I didn't have a problem with that. And that's a little needle puncturing your skin thousands of times. But I have a problem with giving blood, not immunizations, but that's what skeeves me out. Looking at needles. If you're going to do it, but do it quick. What about you? Are you disgusted by anything? Like, for me, also runny eggs. Runny eggs will make me heave.
It's not that I'm disgusted, I guess. It's just that drowning. I have a huge fear of drowning. I'm not scared of bugs or nothing. I have a pretty strong stomach. So, no, I mean, especially as a mom, you deal with puke and shit all the time. And I got cats and litter boxes. So, yeah, I guess I was built for this. I don't know.
But the story
it's not the visual of shit that bothers me. It's the talking about it. It's I can't. My boyfriend just said, "Oh my God," he just panicked.
How did you explain to him what happened?
I said, I just had to describe this right now. He goes, "The fucking Howard Stern again." This is such. Why is my life like this?
What did I do to deserve this? It's like,
why were you so funny? What happened?
I'm gonna try to get through.
When you say you got your hand up there, how many fingers? I mean, you can't just put your hand up there. What do you?
Yeah, you start with a finger, right?
No, it was probably three, like these 3 fingers.
Yeah.
So somebody on Reddit did one of those, guys. It was one of the funniest Photoshops I've ever seen. You know those claw games where you pay money and you're supposed to direct it over the thing? So somebody, like Ronnie with his ass stuck up in the air. Ronnie's ass stuck up in the air, naked ass, and the crane thing going down.
Oh, that's good.
Because
That's
the other thing is, he's saying, look, it was just fingers, but Howard wants it to be his fist because he just did, like, he's making it a fist. But, you know, it's okay. So anyway, let's get on to the next one. Number 3, Sam, please.
Fillmore wants me. He wants me.
It's like waterboarding.
He wants me in the corner of my bathroom vomiting all over myself in disgust. This is the worst. I fucking hate this show so much.
Come on, you can do it.
Number 3, Ronnie needs a fiber tutor.
I'm going to tell you this again. Greatest thing you could do for yourself is get on Metamucil.
Metamucil?
It is the greatest thing ever, dude.
Imagine being a fucking 60-something-year-old and discovering you need fiber after saying you're all healthy and shit. Go ahead. Yes, Sam?
Metamucil just dropped him. They saw that video in blackface. Bye.
It's just psyllium husk, guys. I think I got onto it 2 years ago. I'm 45, and my family has always had an issue with like whatever, the plumbing, I guess. I never did until I got into my 40s. And then I decided, well, try it. What's the worst that can happen? Eating salads just doesn't cut it sometimes. So him going on with his 6 almonds and with what little he eats, turkey meatballs, not even anymore. And he's impacted. He's got like little fucking torpedoes coming out. Go ahead, Sam.
We're sponsored by Gardenia.
Gardene. They're probably dropping him too. They've only got something like 56,000 followers, like 56K followers. Dropping.
Don't worry, I tweeted them.
Okay, good.
I tweeted them with a bunch of blackface.
Like I do. You will never have that problem.
Okay, hold on. Let me expand this a little bit. The hot one in Ronnie's chamber gets his boss hot.
I can't believe he got his own hand up his asshole.
See, he's saying hand. Ronnie just said fingers.
Yeah.
So he has to make it hand for his own purposes. Go ahead, Sam. Yes.
I can't tell you how fast my boyfriend ran up the steps as I'm gagging out the door.
God, it was like Heimlich maneuver sounds.
Oh, a bare hand, and he did it 3 times.
Now you know how I feel. It wasn't the whole hand. It was like 3 fingers.
Chris, aren't you amazed by that?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I mean, it took me
now Wilding gets in, guys. It couldn't just be about shit. Now it has to be about gay.
decades to even get like a small penis up there. I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
Yeah, but it was like I was using it like a claw, almost like this. Yeah, it's like
Raven.
Okay, Wilding knows any ass play talk gets to the boss, gets him on air.
Yes.
That's heroin.
Yep.
So here he is. And this is just the beginning of Wilding if we get to everything that we want to.
That's right. And Mehmet doesn't get on so much anymore because he doesn't want to go down that road. And he knows that being a twink is as far as he can go, but he ain't going to go gay for Howard. He just isn't.
Mm-mm.
And that's why Wilding need to spread eagle. Go ahead.
Mehmet will just go with living in a rat-infested apartment because he's not paid anything.
Okay, number 5, Wiggy contemplates 3 fingers up his ass.
You could have made shotgun pellets from the duty in my asshole.
I don't think I could stick 3 fingers up my ass no matter what was going on.
Liar.
He's lied. He did it on that Newlywed game when they did way back when he said for Allison, I've wanted to, I've tried, I've had fingers up my ass and stuff. Go ahead, Sam.
He totally gave himself anal fissures thinking about Allison manipulating his butthole, and it didn't work. She wouldn't do it, so he did it to himself. And then, he had fissures.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote about it in his book, everything. I mean, he was obsessed with it. Do you do anal? Do you do anal? Do you do anal? I mean, thanks a lot. You introduced a whole bunch of straight guys into thinking that girls liked that. Guess what? A bunch of us don't. And if you want to do it once in a while, like on a surprise or a try, fine. But are you fucking kidding me?
It's good to know. Go ahead, Raven.
This is hard. Again, any adult out there, this is just a public service announcement with any guy who wants to do that to your girl. Just have a chat with her. Discuss it in a flirty way. Just be like, hey, have you ever thought about this? My buddy did this. His girl liked it. What about you? Don't just assume. Okay.
Hey, Raven,
thank you.
Do you do anal?
Oh boy, what about you, Sam? Let me turn it around on you. Do you do it?
Yeah, Phil from Cleveland. Oh, let's couch it in the collars.
You could if you had to. Believe me, if you had to.
Yeah, if you had to. Jesus, how much shit stains has Ronnie cleaned off the limo window, the divider?
Let's talk to Ralph. Hey, Ralph.
This one's called Ralph with Ralph with 3
Let's talk
years
to
on.
Ralph.
Oh yeah, the PhD of ass play.
Because we really need to know what he has to think about this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this that thing you do at the end of the show where you try to get people to tune out?
Ralph knows. Ralph knows exactly what's going on. Now, everybody, we are onto our big finale, and I'm going to tell you about June 12th. June 10th. My mistake. I don't know why I have it listed as June 12th. Maybe because that's when I cut them up. Wiggy goes into this. Raven, you want to set it up?
Well, please do.
Can we just
while I prick up my stomach? It's just on the turnpike.
Okay, so the research I did, is that something that would relate to the last segment, or what's coming up? I'm trying to see what's happening here.
Okay. Well, basically, that was the 8th. That was the Monday. This is the Wednesday now. So Wednesday.
Oh.
And because we're not going to, there was a Pete Davidson interview we're not going to cover, and the Sean Penn was a bore fest. We decided it really wasn't worth it, guys. So bear with us. Yes.
There's just before we leave the fecal attraction segment.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people call it a fetish, but I was researching a little bit, and if it's okay, I like to talk about some of this right now before we move on.
Please do. The more shit, the better.
So a fetish is something that someone needs that to be aroused. So I don't think ass play is something that Howie necessarily needs to be aroused, but he has a deviancy or a proclivity for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a powerful association, possibly regarding an orgasm, but possibly not.
What would give you that idea?
Years and years of experience and listening. But here's the theory that when someone is aroused, their disgust reflex shuts down. So like being peed on in a shower with a woman isn't so bad because they're turned on. Or it's like a thrill or a taboo, something forbidden.
Okay. So as soon as something it gives you that feeling, then it's suddenly okay. Like it's justifiable as long as there's a sexual feeling.
Yeah, some of your barriers drop down and you're more open to things.
Okay.
Now, there's two terms. There's scatophilia and coprophilia, which is sexual arousal or pleasure from feces. All right.
That's
so
the
this is where my Google was like, what
hold on, that was the first
doing?
one? That was the first one?
That coprophilia and scatophilia are the same thing. COPROPHILIA.
Okay.
Is that like a Cleveland steamer?
Yeah, that would probably be grouped in there.
I'd say that's in the neighborhood.
It's anything that gives you sexual pleasure from feces. So then you have scat, which a lot of people call like scat porn, where there's people shitting on people. SCATOPHILIA. So I dug deeper, and my phone hates me.
So did Ronnie. It's just revolting.
I know that. Okay, so Howard is a fan of therapy. Well, Freud did a discourse on the anal triad of character traits relating to scat, basically fecal play.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one was orderliness, so cleanliness. And that explains like beef is cleaning all the time, the Roomba, the cleaning the bananas. The second trait was obstinacy. So that's a rigid, stubborn, non-relenting. It's basically his MPD. He's always right. You have to agree with.
Sure.
And then the third one, which nobody is going to debate, is called parsimony, which is basically being a cheap bastard.
Yeah.
Tight with money.
Okay.
And these are all anal character traits. The anal triad of character traits.
Wow.
So some other traits that are...
Wait, so my asshole could be cheap?
Your asshole could be tight, and you could be tight in the wallet. There's a connection there.
Wow.
Perfectionistic. Okay.
I don't know if that applies here.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
We'll let that one go.
Okay.
Pedantic, boring, and shows off knowledge. So he's showing off his knowledge of the ass. Remember when he used to say, like, he'd take a wipe and stick a finger up his ass and pull out a plum?
Yes.
Okay. Same thing. That was his knowledge of his ass. Sorry, Sam. I'm just going to plow through here. No pun intended there. Okay, so
we go through to the other side.
Work obsessed is another trait. Now, he claims to be work obsessed. We know he's not.
Yeah,
he's got he's got tutors and people to do that for him.
Absolutely, handlers.
Another trait is
poop tutor.
Poop tutor? Yeah. Another trait is joyless. And if we refer back to Bob D in his MPD segments, we know Howie is miserable all the time. So he's joyless.
Mm-hmm.
Easily disgusted. So right next to that, I wrote easily disgusted by pussy. Because we all know every woman's pussy is smelly and they all need twat cream to clean up themselves.
What does he do? Hold on.
Everyone needs a douche.
And what does he do at some point during this? And you will hear it, guys. You will hear it. That he you can hear it audibly goes, yuck, when Chris said he was with a woman.
Absolutely.
What, like unsolicited. What straight guy says that? What straight guy fucking says that, guys? I'm sorry. Anybody wants to dance around it? We're not fucking dancing around anything, guys. We're going straight into...
I'm not dancing around anything. I am almost fucking throwing up. I can't. This is awful.
Okay, so can you take... sorry, Raven, I'm sorry I cut you off.
I'm not throwing up about gayness, by the way. I love gays to death.
Yes.
I'm throwing up. I'm throwing up about...
Shit talk.
Can't... Yes.
Shit bricks. Yeah.
How can you be so
That's what we're talking about.
Vagina, which, by the way, tastes great.
Hey, I'll second that. How's
hey, don't
that?
you remember?
Okay.
Don't you remember Bobby Flay's burgers that tasted like pussy? That's a throwback. Remember when Sal went to Bobby Flay and says, "These burgers are so great. They're just like," and it was like a woman's. He explained it. And Howard goes, Sal, if his burgers taste like pussy, he'd be out of business. He'd be out of Howard's business. Absolutely.
They better taste like fucking shit bricks, I guess.
Anyway, yes, this is the disclaimer, guys, that should have gone in the beginning. But either way, we are not anti-gay, and I want to explain a little of the photoshops that I've made over the years. My photoshops are designed to poke him the same way he used to say David Weave Roth, claiming he had a wig. It's all projection. When he used to claim that Rosie was gay, when she was still in the closet. When Ellen, he's saying, oh, she looks like a lesbian or whatever. She said about Jamie Foxx as late as 2012, he was fighting with Jamie Foxx saying, what about the foxhole? What's that supposed to mean? He shouldn't be around kids. He said Kathy Lee's kids, where Cody is going to grow up to be gay. So fuck all of you who believe that, because I'm doing this, because you don't have the context, so you don't have the brain God gave a fucking goat to know that I'm going after him the way he would go after everybody, and he deserves no mercy. This is not an anti-gay thing. It's an anti-Howard thing, and he deserves all of this fucking vitriol because he did worse. He did less for fucking gay rights than anybody. He'll tell you, oh man, no one supported the gay community more than me. Bullshit. He fetishized it. He made it into something shameful that in 2 books he decided was curable, that he decided, and then you want to burn those 2 things. Fuck him now and forever. And he deserves every bit of the now.
And pick up those 2 books, by the way. If you want to fight us against this, go get Private Parts. Go get Miss America.
Yes.
And there
Absolutely.
you go.
The Colford book.
And the Colford book. So when you want to know the truth. And the thing is this, guys, and I'll say this right now: if he does come out of the closet, those photoshops will stop. I'll have to, because my internal sort of morality would say, well, okay, so he's out. Finally, he's out. Great. Now I don't have to make fun of him for being such a hypocrite. Go ahead, Raven.
So basically, if he comes out as gay or bisexual and takes off his wig, you're out of photoshops, right?
Well, no, because
Who
Beth
cares?
is always.
I'd rather him
Beth
do
is
that and be
always-
real.
There's always Beth, and that one. I wish I had thought about the crane one with Ronnie, but my God, that was just brilliant. I'll see if I can find it. Go ahead.
Okay, just one more thought. He was always big on bringing lesbians on his show.
Yes.
Right, and using them on Jay Leno to embarrass Jay. He brought him on the show, had him, just kissing or nothing major.
Spanking.
But
yeah,
so he basically was making money off of them.
Yeah.
But he never gave them their due. He
No.
never praised the qualities of women and how, beautiful they were and how sexy this was. He was like, "Oh my God, can you believe this? Look at this. This is crazy. Oh my God." It was all about him and ratings and look what I'm doing for you and you should thank me.
Right.
But the women never got credit. They got played.
Yeah.
And
they're
and
just
as much as he likes to
backpackers.
think he's a gay rights activist, he's not.
No.
He just used them. And that's why, what we do and say here, it shouldn't be taken the wrong way. We're just putting him on blast for things he's said and done.
Yes. And
It
has
doesn't
never
reflect on our personal thoughts at all.
Right. Sam.
I'm just going to grab Miss America really quick. I'm going to be right back.
Okay. Well, hold
So
on.
just keep talking.
Yep, we'll do. 2, 6, pause. Yeah, thank you for that. By the way, the lookup, because I read the interpretation of dreams when I was an undergrad, a long time ago, Freud, and but I hated it. I mean, it was tough reading. It was fascinating, but it was really tough going. It's like reading any Russian literature. It's so
Well, if Bob D is the professor of MPD, I'll be the professor of scat. How's that?
It was so fucking disgusting, and
I don't know. It just doesn't bother me. I have this filter. It's just I just hear stuff and I can transcribe it and I just interpret it. It doesn't nauseate me. I'm so surprised that Sam has such a reflex like this.
Well, she did you hear her talk about when Mia threw up as a toddler and she
Oh my God, when my kids puked, it was the worst, but I dealt with it and I don't know. I never had that reflex.
Vomit doesn't disgust me. Shit doesn't disgust me except when they're talking about it in the way it's just vile. I'm not getting gagging. I'm just saying it's revolting to listen to in this non-comedic way. But when they used to tell shit stories about going to hotels and not having enough water pressure, the stuff we all have issues with, it didn't go down. How do I that's funny to me. That is funny. But this stuff is all disguised.
See, now that you ask me what makes me kind of gag, it's when I clean a toilet, which is kind of funny because the talking about it doesn't bother me, but the actual cleaning and smelling of it sometimes will make me retch a bit.
Would you
then
like
I'm just I power through with gloves and Clorox wipes.
I would love to see what 10-year-old Howard's sticker book looks like. It's all scratch and sniff with shit stickers in it. Jesus Christ almighty. I used to have a great sticker book with all these amazing things. I probably still have it. And I think my mom, last time I saw it, I opened it up and it's, an album, right? So it's plastic covering. A lot of those scratch and sniff stickers still worked. You could still get a sticker for them. 30 years later. Yeah, it was amazing. 30, 40 years later.
We can keep going. I just wanted to get this in case I wanted to say something. So keep going.
You wanted to read about the it's a distraction from daily life, the Miss America part?
Yes.
That's part of Private Parts, I'm pretty sure. The curing OCD, Sarno curing homosexuality is in Miss America.
Private
Sure.
Parts, right?
What have you pulled from your Anderson Cooper library to read to us today regarding what we were just talking about?
Anderson Cooper doesn't read anything. It's except for what's in front of him on a teleprompter.
His mother's
will. Called, yeah. It's all in your head too. Now, before gay people go crazy and try to burn me in effigy, let me explain. By the way, this is from Howard Stern's book. He wrote this. It's called Miss America. And it was right after Private Parts. Let me explain. Everyone acknowledged that homosexuality is, by definition, a deviation from the norm. The current thinking is that it's the result of an unusual genetic formation. But to me, that's like saying it's due to a chemical imbalance, a genetic hiccup. I think homosexuality is just another distraction, albeit a much stronger distraction than even OCD or back pain. Homosexuality seems to be a way for men in our society to avoid the responsibilities of being an adult male. It's not genetic. It's all psychosomatic. Why? I maintain it's because those are the guys most likely to attract women and attract this responsibility, and this is their way of escaping. It's a fear of making a living and supporting a family to the nth degree. If you're gay,
this is, keep in mind, everybody, this is something he felt strongly enough to include in 2 books, the only 2 books he ever had, not counting, unauthorized biographies and stuff by fans and what have you. There's another one out there that I'll talk about another time. It's not really worth checking out. That he felt strongly enough to include it in both because he really has nothing, whatever's on his mind that day, that year, that week is what he'll talk about. And then maybe he'll never talk about it again. He drops subjects like crazy and hobbies like crazy. But why in God's name would he spend so much time on this topic that's so clearly inflaming and then years later say, I don't know that I ever believed it? So why'd you put 2 fucking books out about it that you felt so strongly? 2 books that people bought in millions. Go ahead, Sam.
And this is when people were dying, not like of COVID. Even those numbers don't even compare to how people were dying of HIV during this time and how scary that was. And how scary that was for people in my family who were gay. And that these books are incredibly... He had such a voice on the public. So for him to put something out like this, like it's not the norm. It's psychosomatic. You can cure it like my OCD. And then you think you're going to sit there and you're going to pretend that you didn't say all of this? No, we're going to read it right now. So let's keep going.
And hold on for a sec before we even go there. And lest anybody think, well, yeah, guys, that was, 25 years ago, but bullshit. I have a clip from 2003 that's on my channel where he doubles down on it. And he says, John, your stuttering is psychosomatic, just like OCD, just like homosexuality. He equated OCD with homosexuality. And that one was the one where my eyes were really like, okay, this guy's gay. Sorry. He's gone through some type of gay conversion therapy. Who knows? I'm sure of it. Sam, continue.
Homosexuality seems to be a way for men in our society to avoid the responsibilities of being an adult male. It's not genetic. It's all psychosomatic. Why? I maintain it's because those are the guys most likely to attract women and attract this responsibility. And this is their way of escaping. It's a fear of making a living and supporting a family to the nth degree. If you're gay, it's almost as if you're perpetually caught in boyhood. You hang out with the guys. You don't have the wife and kids and the house and the mortgage. Hey, it sounds really good. Maybe I should try it in bold and caps.
Yes, Raven. Yeah, he's describing himself. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we got Peter Pan here just outing himself. He wants to escape the responsibilities of adulthood, yet he's still in denial. So this was kind of him prancing around the subject without actually inserting himself in. Sorry for the puns.
No,
so we're all shitbag dads who don't do the right thing. Gay.
And we take it up the ass to keep us from the the rigors of actual responsibility. That's a hell of a fucking block. That's a hell of a distraction to take a dick up the ass, just casually. And we've got audio of him saying when he went to the psychiatrist, and this was from a couple of years ago, he admitted this. When he first went to psychiatry, the first doctor, he said, look, we got to discuss homosexuality. What doctor would start a conversation with you about that unless he was told about it by Sarno, who recommended the guy, or he saw it in him or he knew it in him? I'm sure Sarno went to that doctor and said, look, he's having trouble coming out. Maybe you can help. And and he goes, I didn't want to talk about that. Fuck that. I'm into chicks, dude. Right. Okay, we get it.
Maybe that doctor saw the e-clip of him shaving a pussy and almost puking.
Maybe he got video of Ralph shaving his balls for him. Go ahead, Sam. Is there any more? The Sarno stuff?
I know that people will say, or I know that people will read this and say, he's full of shit. Duh.
Literally.
Because they're not going to understand that obsessive compulsive behavior, back pain, homosexuality, PMS, and a host of other problems are tied in with psychosomatic illness. I'm sure that homosexuals don't want to think of themselves as ill, and I don't blame them. I'm not anti-homosexual. Are you not? What is this then? Okay, hold on. If you're happy being gay, by the way, this is all in bold. If you're happy being gay, then by all means be gay. Besides, that means there's more pussy for me.
No. For real?
Yes, that is in there.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to continue. If you're gay and you're happy, God bless you. But when you find that being gay is hurtful to your life, when deep down inside you're depressed about your sexual orientation, you can do something about it. If you're the stereotype of the old queen walking around lonely and depressed for having lived in the closet his whole life, you can change. If a gay person could accept that his homosexuality is a psychosomatic illness, truly accept it, understand it, and think of it in the same way I thought of my obsessive compulsive behavior, it would disappear. You may not know it, but if you are holding in your hand the most powerful self-help book ever written, millions of people who are suffering silently from diseases could be cured by accepting Dr. Sarno's diagnosis. Just substitute homosexuality, PMS, OCD, or pyromania for back pain, and you're on the road to recovery.
I wonder how he dealt with menopause when he was going through it.
Are you kidding me?
Listen,
Thank you, Sam.
And you gals, I am not going to begrudge you any kind of anger about that, because the PMS stuff, some women have it really bad and some don't. My wife, unfortunately, has it off. When she does get it these days, it's horrendously awful. And I understand that. I don't understand the pain myself. I understand that it's real and that you can't. It's debilitating some days. And you imagine a guy saying, "Just will it away," like you're Professor Xavier. Like some.
Do you think I want to be
giant
like laying in bed with a heating pad? It's like the fucking most embarrassing, worst thing ever.
Right, and having to explain to people why you gotta. It's awful. You got a bad break, girls. I agree. Like, God must be a man if there is one, because no guy he would never have allowed men to go through that. So we're gonna go into this whole dissertation on the 10th, which was Wednesday, this past Wednesday, that was shockingly out in the open. He's had they've been jousting with Wilding and Ralph on the phone before, but nothing like this. Never like this. So the first one, number one, Sam, if you please.
This is great. I got my heating pad ready. Okay. Wiggy knows a thing or two about Jake Gyllenhaal's Johnson.
All right. If you had to fuck one of these two guys, choose between Jake Gyllenhaal and Hosier.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Told you it would be a rough morning.
Yeah. I just saw Hosier doing a song acoustically on Ellen.
So they're asking this fucking, almost 70, cancer-ridden, fat fucking vomit monster who she'd rather fuck. If this visual doesn't get you off, guys, I mean, I don't know. So Jake Gyllenhaal, Mr. Brokeback Mountain himself, who might actually be in the closet, we have no idea, but certain blind items would indicate that he is. I don't give a fuck either way, but why is Wiggy so enamored with him? And then listen to this.
Go ahead. Jake Gyllenhaal, though.
I know.
Big, thick cock.
You know that for a fact?
I'm not supposed to say
How
that.
do you know that?
Listen to
him. I'm being an asshole.
So why
this
is he...
This is more of Robin's trolling.
It's trolling,
we talk about this all the time,
often.
Fillmore. We see this all the time. Robin is trolling him.
those laughs, right? Are they
And not just the
uncomfortable?
laughs. You know it's a big, thick cock. It's the same way she said, oh, with Anderson Cooper, oh, weren't you worried about your mother's diary? And he took you forcefully. Oh, that's your diary, Howard. Like, she does this all the time.
Yes, I think it's in this way. It's a way she's trolling him for not our benefit, but she knows she doesn't have much time left. So I think she's less willing to kind of kowtow and go like, oh, no, that's all you. He's straight. He's married. How can he be gay? Just 1 second. Raven, are we going? Yeah. Well, I know we're going way over time, but we're almost. This is all that's left. There's not much left. Are you still good to go?
Oh yeah, totally. I'm good.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. So number 2, time to go deep up the poopy shaft.
I was a young boy, and an older friend of mine who had just gotten his No, it's not that kind of story, Ralph. You pervert.
So did.
Well, I couldn't get my duty out, and he put his hands up my ass.
We're never going to get away from that story, are we?
It's the best story ever.
Oh, the Ronnie story.
So that's them going over the Ronnie stuff again. Ralph's on the phone now, then Wildy comes on the phone. And this all very knowing. It really is the closest we're coming to being in on a Zoom chat with only those 4 people that we're going to get. Yes, Sam?
Time to go deep up the poopy shaft sounds like a Mario Kart stage.
See, everybody, you get video game references on this show as well. Raven, please.
No, this was a planned call that Howie told Ralph to do in a lead up to this whole discussion. So again, everything's scripted, and
when we say scripted, we mean arranged, but not written out. Obviously,
okay, outlined, perhaps.
Okay,
where Howard will be like, "Okay, Ralph, I need you to call in at this time, around this time, and bring up Ronnie, but we're going to talk to Chris, and you and Chris are going to have a fake fight, and then we're going to talk about like whatever you guys just free,
Let's riff.
Let's riff." And see where it goes, and if it goes too far, this is my code word or whatever. And I'm sure they have
safety
signals.
You think? I was just gonna say that. You think they have a safety word?
I don't know. Or he's texting him on the side, like, "Okay, Ralph, back off, back off." I just don't know, but I know that
Bianca.
Ralph, Bianca, yeah.
6 Bianca.
Bianca and Chris Wilding. Jesus, what you got me saying now? Ralph and Chris Wilding have had this back and forth, and you can hear it in their conversations.
Yeah.
That Chris says to Ralph, "You can't give me up," which basically means they're hot and cold. They go back and forth. They're like 2 girls fighting with each other.
Mushu Peaches.
Thanks.
Okay, so the next one, number 3, Sam, please. Sam?
What is my life? Beth.
Robin, are you there?
Fred?
I was just going through my notes. Go ahead.
Beth never wanted to be on the air, and other short works of fiction.
Oh, thanks, hon. Where are you going? She runs out of here like I don't know her.
She doesn't want to be on.
She doesn't want to be on the air.
Yeah.
That's why I love her. She's the exact opposite of me.
Yeah, she's not like one of those housewives on those stupid shows.
Oh, I know. I love being married to a woman who doesn't want to be on the air.
Oh my God.
How many failed projects?
She would literally. There was a housewife that didn't have a leg at some point in New York City. I think her name was Aviva Drescher. Yep, I think I'm right.
Okay.
She took her leg off, her prosthetic, in one episode and threw it across the room. I think Beth would chop off her own leg to be on the Real Housewives of New York City.
Oh yes, and how many? She's already had. She's had her own failed fucking reality show and stuff too. So
God, so that is such a farce.
Yeah.
First,
so number 5, Sam, please, if you will.
a day in the life of two fruity assholes.
I don't.
I'm worried about
I
you.
think he's your lifeline.
Do you think,
This
Chris,
is not
that,
a mean thing. Yeah, Howard.
are you worried about Ralph? I mean,
Yeah, I am.
Why let him bring you food then?
Well, that was actually the one time I had been out of my house since it all started at that point, and I was very weird about it. Asking me, he had to put it down on the street, and then I made him bike
I didn't
away.
have
and I
to. I
walked
put it
over
down
to
on the
it.
street because I.
Now, why is Ralph bringing Wilding anything? What is Ralph to this fucking guy? Why? Raven,
Great
please.
question.
Yeah.
Great
What's
question.
the connect?
I think
there's
that-
no reason. There's no reason
Okay.
for basically a glorified intern, or now he's a producer. I don't know what the fuck his title is. Why is he
Here's
with
the
Ralph
big
at all?
answer. It's so
Yeah.
obvious.
Yeah.
Okay. This is like it's so obvious. It's not even funny. Clearly they
Right.
have a relationship with each other. I mean,
course.
hello.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like saying, "What? Oh, you just happened to stop by somewhere." I mean, come on, people. This is like every textbook show, soap opera, teen bullshit movie ever. You just happen to be walking
It's-
across
It's like
my
it's like
street.
if he was pulling Chris out of his mouth and then looking, oh, you caught me. Like what? That's pretty much what's going on right here without the actual visual evidence. Raven,
Nobody
please.
brings you fucking food, or you don't even talk. Who talks about, I have friends, okay? You have friends. Raven has friends. People you ask to bring you food. Obviously, you have a personal relationship with them. I would not be asking people I work with or am associated with in a show like this to bring me food unless I had a personal relationship with them. Who would
Yeah.
ask that?
So Raven, please.
This was a planned dinner date. They're all lying. What is wrong? Don't you guys listen to the show?
We know Chris eats Chinese. Let's see.
Ralph came up. Chris
Yeah.
blew up. Ralph bought dinner on Wiggy's credit card. Then Chris agreed to go on the show and talk about blowing Howie or giving him a hand job. Sorry.
I love that you're on the show today. I couldn't have done
Yes,
this without
yes.
you.
Applause,
Actually, I really couldn't have.
applause, applause.
Aw, thanks, guys. So of you. You're awesome.
Sorry.
I am.
It's like, oh, what's happening?
How come you guys are like you're two dudes? Why are you always fighting? Chris stormed out of a Zoom meeting after getting into a fight with Ralph on the phone a few
Really?
weeks ago. Yeah. Why are you always fighting with Ralph? Like over dumb shit. Like why are you guys fighting all of them?
Because we're
That's a lover spat. That's just like
Yes.
this is the and we have understood for years that Ralph has this a thing where he can go from Stamos, another famous swinger, to Sam Simon, to Howard, and do whatever because Howard's not supposed to be out. So he has this understanding. Look, if you're still in the closet, I'm free to do whatever the fuck I like, and you shut the fuck up. And you can bitch and moan all you like, but I've got the Polaroids, so don't complain. Sam, yes.
I've had Jake listen to all of that with the Stamos and everything with Ralph stuff in the audio. He said he's a total fuckboy. He's a pass around fuckboy.
Yeah, he's a
It's
rent
like
boy.
that's
Perfect.
the best space to be in if that's where you want to be. If you don't want to be in a relationship and you want to get passed around and get taken to trips and do whatever the fuck you want, and your asshole is free to go, and you'll fuck women, you'll fuck men, or you'll do whatever the fuck, you'll take drugs, who cares? You're a complete total prostitute for these celebrities.
And yet, sorry, Ray, I'm going to cut it in real quick because I know, again, I'm going to forget this. And yet, all the things that he's done wrong over the years, yet he still maintains his position. There's no other reason except he's got something on you, and there's just blackmail. It's just one of those things. I'm sure of it.
If
Hold
he
on.
was a fashion designer, so say his career, so he's not a prostitute, a
Right.
pass around fuckboy, and he's
Yeah.
a fashion designer. I dare anyone to Google image Beth and Howard over the last 20 years, and
Yeah.
I rest my case.
Okay, Raven, please.
I just wanted to say that it was two queens bickering, right?
Yeah.
And we all know Ralph is a leech and he's not to be trusted. He steals money. So
Sure.
he's there for information. And God bless you, Sam, for knowing the term fuckboy. That's what all the kids are using these days. Even like my 15-year-old is talking about shit like that. So
My God, does he know Ralph?
thank God, no. But he knows Beetle, and I'm so proud of him for that. He shows me Beetle on TikTok and Instagram. I love him.
I knew the term rent boy way back in the day, and I guess it's morphed into just flat out fuck boy.
Because we're like,
Seinfeld. Oh,
sorry.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Seinfeld used to call a guy a mimbo. Remember? There was a mimbo.
Oh, okay.
Just a guy who got around, basically.
Okay.
A bimbo, but it was a guy, so it was a mimbo. Sorry.
Wow, like Midnight. Well, not Midnight Express. What's it called? Midnight Cowboy.
Mambo.
Oh, Ralph, please.
Listen, again, it's my
You're
fault.
very girly.
My friend Maya Angelou says, when somebody reveals themselves to you, believe them. And you've done that enough times that I should believe you.
You're reading a lot of Maya Angelou, are you?
Why did you fight with Ralph, storm out of a Zoom meeting, and then you came back drinking a beer because you were so upset? What
I was
happened?
very upset. That we talked about it on the air. That was after the Sopranos ending fight.
Okay, again, it's too much familiarity for there not to be some fucking flame and smoke and a lot of other things and kitten shits. Where there should be no relationship. There's no excuse. There's no reason unless right? So let's continue. Sam.
I don't have
season
finale. I don't have season finale fights with my coworkers.
You remember that?
Wait, dude, that was like 11 o'clock in the morning, and you're drinking?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you fucking set me off. And again, I don't want to read your text message, but
what
you said. You know what you said.
What did you say?
Said to you in confidence.
Hold on. See, it's just building, isn't it, Raven?
Listen to their voices. They have inside jokes. They have threats against each other that they hold over their heads.
Yes.
There's so much more going on behind the scenes here, more than they lead on to believe. And yet,
it all has to do with cocksucking. I'm sorry.
And they both have.
Doesn't think that's not what's happening right now.
And they both have the boss's ear, and he's allowing them to go on like this, right? None of this happens without his okay.
Is he involved?
Who's that?
Is Howard involved in this Ralph Wilding tryst?
Oh, for sure, easily.
Yeah,
I'm certain of it. Yeah.
Their pillow talk or Zoom pillow talk, I guess, at this point. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows how much they see each other, if they really do or not. I don't know.
Do you think Beth is just like a gigantic drug addict with like no sexual partners?
I don't think she's sexual at all.
I never did.
I don't get that vibe on her at all.
I thought originally it was all transactional. Like she'll fuck you for money or she'll fuck you for prestige or some kind of prominence, but she doesn't actually maybe enjoy it herself with anybody. Certainly not with Wigmund Freud. Yeah, go ahead.
Beth was raised by what's her mom's name? Judy, to be a pleaser. So she is there to make people happy and to secure her future, her 401k, her whatever, her Instagram, whatever.
He's gonna live forever.
that it's most likely going to be the case.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Morphinism could stop him early, but I think some of my conspiracy theories believe me that he's got like fetal blood transfusions or he's got some kind of connection that is allowing him to live longer and possibly get transplants easier, or his connections of fame, power, and money will get him places in the health world if he needs.
Sure. Dr. Agus. 14 seconds left on this.
He said, I respect your opinion, and you criticizing me as a writer was very hurtful.
You did not say that, honey. And
I did say that. Don't
you didn't
lie,
put it
Ralph.
that way.
Okay. Who says that? Like now it's all like pet names. Now we've had pet names with the pillow talk. So let's keep going, guys. Number 6. Wiggy says he wouldn't date Ralph, but he'd fuck him, which pretty much explains their entire relationship.
Chris, would you you couldn't? Why?
No, look at that smile. He's lying.
You're lying.
Robin,
tell the
please.
truth. Could you date Ralph?
You date Ralph?
No.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
I
please.
could.
No.
We would have the best time, Robin. I
couldn't date Ralph.
You wouldn't talk to me.
I couldn't date Ralph, but I could fuck him. I'd fuck his brains out.
Well, maybe.
If you
a
guys
lot of people feel that way.
I know Ralph is straight, but
Go ahead, Raven, please.
Clip of the year. Here we go.
Yes.
I fuck his brains out. I can't wait to hear it on the beginning of every podcast you do right about now.
I'm going to have to save these clips. Yes.
Robin said she couldn't date Ralph, but she would use Ralph as a beard or a companion date for dinners.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of dating, but not really. Nothing romantic. She uses him as a partner, but not sexually.
You know what? It's embarrassing that we'd even pontificate about this. We have two clearly gay elderly people who are at the end of their careers in the rope of their life. I mean, this is stupid. They're gay. Guys,
do you think Robin is?
Of course she is. And I think she's bisexual. Possibly.
Yep. Agreed.
I'd say she's closer to that. Yeah, I would say she's closer to bisexual.
Bisexual. Howard's gay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. Sorry.
Number 7.
Is it. I'm not pontificating anymore about this. That's it. Everyone, get the fuck over it. He doesn't like minorities. Ching Chong Charlie. Fucking N-word this. And he talks shit about you. And he hates everybody. So go away.
The next clip is called Welcome to Our Little Club. A moment of silence, please. And that is not a typo, everybody. The moment you hear it, you're going to hear this pregnant pause that's like Octomom expecting. Okay, just hold on for a second.
If you guys were gay together, who would be the top, who would be the bottom, Chris?
Oh, Ralph is a little bottom bitch boy. Everyone knows that. Ralph would eat my cum and gargle.
Okay, I gotta go.
Oh, you gotta go beat off?
You gotta go beat off.
I'm having a flashback to Ronnie shit.
Oh, God.
Oh,
was that the grossest thing ever on the show, you guys? The Ronnie shit?
Yes. Yeah.
No, it's not. Right, we're approaching it right now. And as bad as the Ronnie stuff was, there's a lot more. Raven, please go ahead. We're not even close to the end of the clip.
That's what I was about to say is if you guys think this is bad, there's more to come. So just remember that Ralph's a bottom bitch and he's going to eat and gargle cum. And we get to find out where the cum comes later. So, yeah.
Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a hug, there's a hug.
We want to know where Uncle Jesse shoots his loads.
Yes.
I agree.
Howard, I have friends who, I posted a video the show put out, and they never reach out to me. They never talk about the show. They're not fans. I had so many people who reached out to me and just said, like, what do you do again? Where do you work? Like, what is that?
What's wrong with you?
Now, okay, I have to stop it to get the last 20 seconds in. So Wilding, whatever he's going on with, please, everybody, bear with us.
Who's that man?
Let me take a couple of calls here. Here's Bob. Bob in New York. Hi, Bob.
Hey. How are you, Howard?
Hey, Bob.
You sound hot.
Ooh, it's an interesting young man.
Welcome to our little club.
Did you hear that? No one said a fucking thing. Nobody. The silence was screaming at me. And when I heard it, because again, guys, it took me a while to get this. We would have had this even earlier, but I couldn't get the file until way later. Raven, please.
Well, it's not what you're hearing. It's what you're not hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You hear Ralph go, which, fine. And then you hear him and Wilding go back and forth, and it's like phone sex.
Yes.
It's like what you would hear in a private conversation between these two. And then when Wiggy says, welcome to our private club, whoa, fireworks. Like,
there's no way Robin didn't think to herself. You had to know Robin was there going, oh my, did he really just say that? Did he finally just say that on the air?
She's got to be looking in disbelief. Like, are you really going there? Because
she's not going in disbelief. She's not clueless.
She's in disbelief as to what he would reveal to the audience, not what she knows privately, but what he would say on air. And then everyone's looking for a cue from him as to what to say next, and nobody knows.
You're right. That's
the giveaway.
Yeah. Sam, number 8, please.
I mean, should I just split Ralph's whole asshole open? I mean, fuck's sake. Holy fuck.
Raven's losing it, but she has more of a silent laugh, so you can maybe. Love Sam's expression.
Oh my god. It's just like a fucking gross Thanksgiving turkey. Barf bags are in the pouch of the seat directly in front of you. Oh, thanks.
By the way, why am
Bob
I the
hung up.
bottom?
What?
You're a
Bob
bitch.
got scared.
Because you're whiny and you get offended.
Yeah, but if I was on the bottom,
you bottoms block. Bottoms block, Ralph.
Okay. Hold
Chris.
on. Yes, Sam.
Ralph's so straight. I know that so many men at that age sound like this that are straight.
Yeah.
Fucking Ralph.
No, slap it on the hole a little bit just to tease him. And then I would give him all of my my meat.
all of your big 5 inches.
7, fucker.
Okay.
Oh God. Bragging.
7. Go back to Canada.
Aggressive. So many alerts. I need Brendan. Too many alerts. Here.
Raven, would
Okay,
you like
PD,
to?
projection.
Raven, who's reading the next one? I'll leave you guys.
Wait.
Hold on,
on.
Sam.
If Wilding is 7 inches, and then, he was contemplating 5, and he just said no 7. Bye. See ya, Trudeau. He can have you. We're done. 7. Bye.
Sam, are you reading this, or is Raven going to take a shot?
Raven, go for it.
Number 9, Raven, if you please. I thought you might like this one.
For those about the cock, we salute you.
Not your 7. Bye.
You think Ralph could take a full 7 inches up his asshole?
I know, yes.
Yeah,
oh yes,
easily.
He'd benefit oh so much.
Clean him out.
Oh yeah.
But aren't you like you're a bottom now?
No,
You're
I bottom. Doesn't a bottoming once does not a bottom make, Ralph.
Well, if you leave your house, maybe it'd be twice.
Yeah, well, listen. I might fuck you right now because I'm desperate.
Hey, Chris.
I haven't been.
Okay, so by the way, this is I can't wait to show this to Jake. This is what you say when you go.
Those of you who don't know, Jake is Sam's gay consultant.
He's my gay best friend. I show him all these clips, and he loves this so much, and he gets so flabbergasted how anyone cannot think.
It's just Jewish shtick.
He gets Oh no, that's only if you have a gay husband. He gets incensed by this.
Hold on.
Keeping that in.
Raven, go ahead.
Okay, I'm just going to say the worst phrase here is clean them out. Referring. Like, I have a strong stomach. I get it. I'm not disgusted by gay sex, but it's these two guys talking to each other like they're having phone sex, and I'm in a private conversation that I shouldn't be in. And he's talking about, well, you bottom once and you're cleaned out and now you're bitching. And it's like, oh, does this have to, is this our filler?
You know what? You just said this. It's a whole conversation we don't want to be in. That's the complete opposite about how the show used to be. The show used to be a conversation that you couldn't turn off. You wanted to listen to. You were ear at the door, cup at the door. You wanted to hear every single eavesdropping second of that show. And now it's a show that I literally wish I was in a goddamn safe house, in a safe room, in a fucking vault, and I'm not listening to.
Panic room.
A panic room.
Remind me, hold on. Please. Panic room Photoshop. Hold on.
Don't forget the straight jacket rocking in the corner.
I want to be Jodie Foster.
Okay. She's also straight guy, by the way, guys.
That's my
February.
Chris.
Yeah, what, Howard?
If you fucked Ralph in the ass, would you put him in the doggy position, or would you put his ankles behind his head and go in that way?
I'd start him with ankles behind his head, and then to finish, I would go doggy, and I'd go very hard.
Would you come inside him, or would you come in his hair?
Ooh,
Really? Really? Thank you, Sirius. Welcome
Jim
to the
Meyer.
Howard Stern Show, everybody.
Jim Meyer, how's your ball bag? Sam, showing a
Doggy
picture of Miss
style
America.
or legs in the air? Let me write this down.
I was the ankles behind his head, something like that.
Right, ankles behind his head, the legs behind his ears.
Right, got to get the coordinates squared away.
I'd probably come inside of him first, and then we'd go a second round, and I'd come in his mouth and his hair.
Let's just have a.
Guys,
Sam, can you please read number 10?
Sure, let me put down the book
wow.
where Howard's dressed,
He's dressed in drag.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just showing that to the screen for everyone during these segments. Just give it a little levity. Wilding with a full... I can't.
I'll do it.
Go, Raven.
Wilding with the full semen safety blitz.
Fuck you in your ass, Bob.
Oh, he's not so.
I will bend you over, and I will come on your face and tits.
Bob, you better be careful. He's going to come on your face.
You will be fucked so hard. You will be fucked so hard your teeth are going to fall out, you bitch.
I'm so sorry, Chris. I'm
going to slap my cock on your face,
All right,
Bob. You're
enough
going
of
to
you
love it.
He sounded like a disapproving older gay uncle. Enough of you two. Enough. Center gets the square. Center gets the X. Go ahead. Oh my goodness.
About punishment with them, like they're
Well,
torturing each other, slapping their face, come on their face, come in their hair, fuck them so hard. Like it's just brutal.
I will say
isn't that how you fight with people normally?
But listen, remember when Wiggy used to tied up some woman and left her for like an hour? We could use that.
Yeah, he used to say that. Like, I'll leave you for an hour.
I don't know. I doubt it's real.
Oh, yeah, of course. You'll
Basically,
be so...
that means Angie Everhart was playing video games in the other room for an hour.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, eating Doritos, playing Xbox. PlayStation.
I think we should just move along. We got a lot.
Yeah, there's only a few left. Number 11, Chris drops a gay load on Ralph.
Well, listen, I don't know if you two will ever fuck each other, but it sounds to me like there's
I
some
can
sexual
guarantee
tension.
that we won't. And
Why?
What?
Why?
Said why? Did somebody say
why?
Yeah, Howard said why?
Okay, go ahead.
Stammering, stuttering, all forms of lies and tells of lies.
Yeah.
We know stuff's happened. We know it. Just
oh yes.
For anybody who's not educated in lie detecting, these are tells.
Just a few. For Sam.
Sam?
Oh my God. It would be like telling, oh my God, you can't tell this is a lie.
It's like when your kid gets caught with a cookie and there's like crumbs on their mouth. Did you get any cookies?
The scarlet letter has never been more red.
Okay.
Because Chris won't leave his house.
you know where I live, honey. I told you I'm desperate right now. You don't know what might happen.
When's the last time you blew a guy?
Me or Ralph?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead, Raven.
Okay, if you read between the lines here, Chris is flirting with Ralph, saying, I'm so desperate, you don't know what'll happen. I might pick up some fuckboy off the street before you get to me. He's threatening Ralph. This is like, wow.
I'm so glad you read between the lines because I read the lines and it said, I just sucked his dick.
It was large print.
I was the last one who did.
Yeah.
Almost got him, Howard. February.
February.
Yes.
You caught me.
Wow.
Beautiful Asian gentleman.
Okay. Okay. Number 12. Wow. Wilding used to love lesbian porn, just like his heterosexual boss.
Chris, are you so hard up that you might fuck a woman?
Wait.
Are you so hard up you might fuck a woman? Like it's a last resort.
You know what? It's so funny. You're right. Lesbian porn. Where did that go? We're now pretending stepfather and daughter.
Or it's just wrong featuring mother and daughter.
Noelle Claire.
No, okay. Let's keep going.
Don't get crazy.
Yeah, don't get crazy.
Yeah, no chance. All right. Fair enough. All right. Thank you, Ralphie.
Did you ever fuck a girl, Chris?
I had a weird experience in high school with a girl where she.
Did you hear that? Ugh. I gotta play that again.
Play it again,
guys.
please.
That cannot be because
We need that sign. We need that sign.
Yeah, no chance. All right. Fair enough. All right. Thank you, Ralphie.
Did you ever fuck a girl, Chris?
I had a weird experience in high school with a girl where she basically.
Okay.
Boom.
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 Mic drop. Like mic drop. Fucking computer stand drop. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Hi, guys.
My hard drive just fried.
So, all those comics that want to keep pretending that they don't know he's gay. Hi.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
He is, and don't be afraid of it. Just come on our show. It's fine.
Someone said, "Aren't you afraid of being litigated?" And I'm like, "I'd love to be able to hear the court deposition, read the transcript, sir. I'd like to call Mr. Fillmore Fingers to the stand. We accuse him of calling my client a huge gay lord.
I'd like to read.
I'd like to read testimony.
I'd like to read Miss America. Let me give you the first few.
The judge would be like Richard Simmons."
No.
Oh shit!
She basically fucked me, and it was kind of traumatic.
What happened?
Why?
Well, she had a vagina.
I hate how you and I
thought I was watching bullet removal surgery.
We are so the same thought of.
We were at this party, and it was any other guy's dream. She kept coming on to me and trying to make out with me, and then she got me upstairs.
Did she know you were gay?
Evidently not. I mean, it was like a theater thing, so it should have tipped her off. We were all
so all theater guys are gay. No stereotype there. I was in the middle of rehearsing for South Pacific.
Raven, any thoughts?
Okay. Again, I'm saying lies. Made up story. Him and Ralph may have rehearsed this. Or if it did happen, he already told Ralph, and Ralph was like, "Tell us about that time a girl jacked you off." He makes it sound like they have sex, and they didn't. She just jacked them off.
Right.
Hanging out after a play, and
oh, dear.
I mean, yeah.
What did she do?
It was like she manipulated my penis with her hand.
Did you get hard?
Yeah, I can get hard for a girl. It's not.
It's not my preference. Wiggy should have been saying me neither.
Did you get okay?
Sam.
I'm so glad Fred was quick with the clips for that one.
He was on top of that, but the Beetlejuice, no way.
It's like
maybe you're straight.
No. No, I don't think so. I mean, I used to, back in the day when I was still confused, I used to jerk off to lesbian porn.
Okay. Number 13,
What?
Raven, if you please.
Don't make Howard throw up.
Okay.
Welcome to Sirius XM Gay Rape Encounter Group.
Were you date raped? Is that what you're claiming?
I wasn't date raped, but if a guy was doing what happened to me to a girl, I think there might be a problem.
So she reached in your pants and started. She started tugging on your dick.
I wasn't so drunk I couldn't.
You know that Wiggy is like painting these pictures so he can fucking have a spank bank later. It's if he says them and hears them, they're there forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just another taboo thing he can go on. Yes.
I would have liked the clip to say "Welcome to the Terror Dome," but that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, she was very, very aggressive, and for a young guy, you're supposed to just like that.
Did you try to slip it in? I mean, did she?
No, I was too afraid to. I wasn't really doing much to her. I was kind of trying to make a joke out of it. I was like,
So you never fucked a woman.
Look at you.
You've never fucked a woman.
No, but
neither. I don't think you have
Projection.
Either.
Yeah.
Projection alert.
Yeah.
Never
absolutely.
hit it with a woman.
Can somebody find the turkey baster that Allison had 3 kids with? Because I
listen. You're not alone on that. I've often said I believe it was in vitro, all 3 kids.
Oh my God!
I mean, easily have said, yeah. Go ahead, Raven.
I have a question to you, Fillmore, as a guy. Yeah. Have you ever asked another guy about a woman? Did you slip it in? Is that a common gay phrase? A guy phrase? Whoops.
Well, I can't tell you about the gay stuff, but I can say slip it in is something. Well, first of all, it's a great Black Flag song. But beyond that, no, we would never say, did you slip it in?
That's
did
not
you get
something guys say, is it?
Guys are not. I've said this before.
Wait. You're right. You wouldn't say slip it in.
No. God, first of all, it sounds like if the chloroform worked, maybe you'd have to. But the whole thing is
creepy.
Did you fuck her?
It's invasive. You'd say, did you get some? Did you,
did
she blow you?
Yeah.
Something like that. Whatever. Did you get any? Yeah. Did you get any? And it's like guys are not particularly graphic with other guys. They'll say, yeah, I got lucky or whatever the fuck. But we never, even in our teen years, which is when we're most vile, we never really. It was all mental. It was all visual, I guess. But it was never something in a conversation you'd bring up with a guy. I guess it was too personal. I don't know.
But I've had I come.
I know, absolutely,
from a woman
because she jerked you off.
Yes.
Good for you.
Good. See, that's what I mean. Good for. But it was at the time. It was traumatic.
Number 14. Whoever wants to read number 14.
Thank you, Robin, for providing us all with that little extra bit of proof that your master is a flaming Gaylord.
Raven, you can do the next one for sure.
Yeah, but wait a second. But that if you came from that and it's a girl, then like Howard, if I jerked you off, you
go ahead.
Come,
of course,
right?
That's only theoretical. Yes.
Yeah. We're joking, but you couldn't come, right? Because you're straight. Like,
oh, no,
I
couldn't.
Have you just done it?
Oh no, I couldn't come at all.
Oh, so that's a yes.
Yes, Raven. Okay, I'm done. Like we are done. Our work is done now, but we still have more. Go ahead. Yes.
His voice drops an octave.
Yeah.
When he answers that question.
Like seductive Howard voice.
Yeah, it's theoretical.
Right. So no,
I couldn't.
He said, "Could you come?" Or what did he say? He said, "Could you come from that?" Right? Play that again. Let's just do it one more time.
It's a big one.
Oh yes. Hold on. All right.
Yeah, but wait a second. But that if you came from that and it's a girl, then
all right. Go ahead, Sam.
What? Even if Howard answers this in the way he answers this, guys, after everything we've heard, and this is the end of it, what's going on?
FML.
Fuck
Kill me
life?
now.
Fuck everybody's life.
I mean, okay, so unless you're hiding your own life behind a big wallet, what are you? I mean, like, what is going on here? Obviously, you're gay.
Well,
like
okay.
what? I don't understand. I don't understand. Why can't we just like get through this part? Don't you think it would, instead of all this blackface shit coming out, you just be like, "Hi, I've been gay and secretly scared all these years." I mean, what's worse? Being in blackface and having, oh my God, all this.
Raven?
Okay, after all the blackface that we've seen on Twitter, this is the perfect opportunity for him to use the bait and switch with like derail and to be like, I was crazy and I'm actually bisexual. And because I was so confused and I had so much going on in my head, I just had to distract from it somehow. And this is how I did it. Like, This is a great out for him. If he ever wanted to come out, now would be a great time because it would distract blackface. Be like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm bisexual and I'm confused and I have a lot going on in my life.
Do you think he would confuse just the way he confused George Floyd's murder with not knowing where he lived in Roosevelt and black people moving out?
White flight.
Yeah.
Or do you think it would be covered the same way Kevin Spacey decided, you know what, I didn't molest those guys, even though, and I'm telling you, I'm coming out of the closet. That should cover up all the cocks I grabbed when I wasn't supposed to, and all the sex I coerced out of extras and shit.
Right.
And George Takei was the same.
I think he's going to use this. I think because this is so obvious, he's going to use this moment the same way. I think he's going to take this and be like, but I'm gay. So forgive me for being a total racist.
Well, they did the standard thing with the page 6. It said we could the reps for Howard Stern could not be reached for comment, which is the standard thing. He never goes on and does anything like that. Kevin Spacey, when he did his thing, he had to release something. Absolutely. He just was so poorly advised and clearly didn't have a brain in his head, or it's ego. It's like, I can get away with this because I'm gay. What the fuck does that have to do with it? Raven.
Kevin Spacey doesn't have a show on Sirius to broadcast his every thought.
That's right.
True.
But
so
what's amazing
he
about this
can
clip,
use it as content and mine it forever.
Sure. And God, if he does come out, we have another show. We have a year's worth of shows out of it.
Oh my God.
But the also the key is here. Listen to Ralph's voice. Listen to his sort of like
the lilt,
and the like if I he didn't say it, but in his mind he's going non-verbally. He's going, hypothetically, if I jack you off like I have in the past,
like Howard. If I jerk you off,
go ahead. Of course, that's only theoretical. Yes.
We're joking, but you couldn't come, right? Because you're straight. Like,
oh, no, I couldn't.
Have you just done it?
How do you know? Because he's straight, right? How would you know? That's what Robin just said. How would you know? Have you done it?
Right.
Wait, she wouldn't have broken up that argument and said that. That's not what you would say if he was straight. You would say, you would know if he was straight, and Robin would have let it continue. But she said, wait. How would you know if he's straight? Play that back.
Yeah, but wait a second. If I jerk you off,
go ahead. Of course, that's only theoretical. Yes.
We're joking, but you couldn't come, right? Because you're straight. Like,
oh no, I couldn't.
Have you?
No.
How does he know? How does he know he's straight? How does he know he's straight?
Go, Robin.
Yeah, absolutely. How does he know one way or the other?
Hey, oh no, I couldn't come at all.
So now listen to them. It's all one club. They all know the secret, and now they're all laughing that we all know something that we're not telling you exactly, but we're telling you.
By the way, quite frankly, has told you from the beginning. We're not hiding it.
No, we're not. Sorry.
We don't dance around it.
The defense rests, Your Honor.
Welcome to the club.
The prosecution rests.
No, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't come. I don't even think I get hard if you start jerking me off.
Howard.
I'm telling you. It wouldn't happen.
Manipulation. If it feels
Robin,
good.
If a dude was
you're
manipulating
going to get excited.
Okay, go ahead, Raven, please.
He doesn't think he would get hard. He doesn't know for sure. He doesn't think so. That's kind of telling right there.
It just boggles my fucking mind.
Exactly. Howard, trust me, I could make you come.
That laugh says so much.
It's such an honest conjecture from him.
But Robin's laugh is really like that, knowing, yes, him too, but then her going like, yes, I know, we know, like it's okay to come out. You're in your safe space here. Raven, yes?
Chris is making his bonus big time right now.
Oh, yes, I think so. I was of two minds. Do you think yes, or do you think no, this was not supposed to come out? It's funny, he blocked out the blackface, but this was fine.
This is I'm saying that this is laying the groundwork for a future coming out party for him, where it's going to be raining men in the studio, maybe by October this year.
There's going to be tumbleweeds in the street. Not a paparazzi is going to waste a lens on this son of a bitch. Go ahead.
This
Sorry,
is going
Sam.
on, though. This is going on. Benjamin is right, though, when he said how many people would sue the fuck out of him
Yeah.
if they thought that they were being taken advantage of in this way.
Yeah.
So I hope he keeps treading down. You want to go down that I never said the N word and then fall on your face when we pull up every single clip of you lying your whole career? Fine. You go with this line. If you want to come out, we'll support you, and we'll support all the people and victims that you entrapped and through your career. Keep going, you fucking freak.
Dude. I don't think so, but
trust me. You need a couple of beers. You know, you have to drink again. But
Raven, would you like to read number 15?
Or do you need a couple of beers?
The Finook hits just keep on coming.
By little poll was just taken in the office, so to speak, our virtual office. Over 75% of the staff thinks Chris and Ralph will eventually fuck.
Really?
Yep.
And the rest know that he's fucked. Go ahead.
75% of the staff must have went to 13th grade at BU.
75?
Grade 14. Yeah.
75% of the staff are afraid to lose their job.
Yes.
Translation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where's JD working through this?
They just stole his stiletto on the subway. Pretty soon they'll be down to stealing his Zune.
Well, the vote is in, you guys. You might as well do it.
Chris, are you not attracted to Ralph?
I just enjoy this
like him as a friend. I like Ralph as a friend.
That's not the question.
Are you attracted to him physically?
I used to like Chris as a friend, too.
Listen to him.
Oh, yeah. He used to like you as a friend when he asked you to get him food and everything. It's such a... Wow. It's just so...
Yeah, sorry,
so
I didn't
bad.
He's a tall guy, seems to have a nice body. I hear he has a big cock, so sure. Sure. But
so you are attracted to Ralph?
Yeah, but I've never thought about Ralph while I masturbate or anything like that.
No.
But who asked you that? Who the fuck asked you that?
Just remind me of the Richard Pryor bit. He's at the girlfriend's house. What's going on in there, you kids? Oh, nothing, sir. Just sitting here on the couch with my pants off. Way too much information given.
All lies. All
Yeah.
lies on this show.
wait,
Don't
hold on.
believe anything you hear.
Yeah, go ahead.
Raven.
Yeah.
Tom.
What?
Do you think about me?
All the
hold on.
time, Sam.
So insane.
Yeah,
Maybe you should try it.
I never have like sexual thoughts I act on with Ralph. You know?
Would you like to have
Oh,
fun?
you have sexual thoughts, but you don't act on them.
Sure,
So you are attracted to Ralph?
Yeah, but I've never thought about Ralph while I masturbate or anything like that.
No, but
Really, maybe you should try it.
I never have like sexual thoughts I act on with Ralph. You know?
Would you like to have
Oh,
fun?
you have sexual thoughts, but you don't act on them.
Jesus. Well, yes, Raven, yes.
Robin's a great litigation lawyer in this. She's
Isn't
picking
she?
them apart like crazy. I love her.
Well,
Thank you, Robin.
she's an 80, so it's easy to like collectively. I don't think they're fucking 79 IQ in that room. Jesus.
Oh, they're so dumb.
I don't really
Look at
have
this.
sexual
32% of the
thoughts about
people
Ralph.
think they already have fucked.
Yeah,
They must have went to our Facebook page.
32 think they already
That
have.
I would tell you. That I would come on the air with right away.
Hey, Mike,
Sorry,
what's
By
up?
the way,
Now Mike from Maine comes in to help us out.
by the way,
Oh my God. Do we need help from any state right now to see who's sucking someone's cock? Are you fucking kidding me?
Because some guy's sticking his cock in my ass. I'd be screaming.
I can imagine.
I bet you could.
Oh, do you hear the lust in his voice?
Oh my God. And his wig probably smells like a forest fire and dead corpse.
Raven.
Oh my God. Wiggy is giddy. Hear it. It's just, he is loving this.
Let me play that
how he
last
ends his week.
Let me play that last 5 seconds.
By the way,
be the whiniest bottom ever because some guy's sticking his cock in my ass. I'd be screaming.
Oh yeah. So Ralph would know about the whiniest bottom ever.
Get a cock in your head.
Okay, so just that last, and Sam, do you guys both want to read this together?
No, I want Raven to read it.
Okay, Raven, take the last one.
She's amazing.
Yes,
Thank
she
God.
is.
I couldn't have. I would have. I think I would have died.
She's your sponsor. She's your gay sponsor.
I'm your scat sponsor too. Don't forget it. Damn it.
Oh,
I have to be honest with you.
All right.
I think I would have fucking died if I had to deal with that.
Last one.
I'll hold your hair if you ever need.
That butthole shit Ronnie segment. I would have died if it wasn't for you. You're a
last clip.
You're lifesaver.
Last clip. Here we go. Wiggy claims he's afraid of cock. Next on the Twilight Zone.
You're afraid of cock.
At least do it on mic. Sorry, guys. Some of these are for you. Some of these are for us, and some of them are for you.
Ralph, yeah. People are.
That's right.
Most people are what?
Afraid of cock.
Oh, I thought you meant bisexual.
I'm afraid of cock.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our gay nursery rhymes for the evening.
Welcome to the Howard Stern Show, folks.
Welcome to the Howard Stern, folks. Howard Stern Show.
Could you imagine? Like how you're afraid of things like a boogeyman in the closet, just a big penis jumping out. Boom.
Can we end it with Henry Rollins' song called Liar? Do you know that one?
I'd love to, except that we're going to get copyright stricken for that, so I'd love to. But
need your help.
But I've got Judy Garland and Doris Day on standby.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Actually, I used that one time. Actually, no, I used it at the other place for a theme. It actually didn't get nabbed. Sometimes those copyright things are a little weird. If it's long enough, you get just like Ralph's unit. If it's long enough, you get flagged.
There's a cock that I'm afraid of. Once in a lullaby.
So, guys, this has been a tremendous recording weekend. We've got enough material now for several encounter groups to discuss.
I just wanted to send out some thank yous, please, to the AM thread.
Yes,
people.
shout out.
Yes.
All right.
Hold on. So, hold on. Raven wrote a note.
Oh my God, I hate you.
I wrote a beautiful note.
I just sprayed my eyeball with my drink because
Danny Thomas.
I hate you. Oh.
All right. Oh, jeez. Gotta get a breath here. All right. My the Louise to my Thelma, Josie. Thank you so much. You are the bestest. I love you. Cindy, Brendan, Wayne, Todd, Jeremy, Mustafa, C.A. Thompson, and you guys, Fillmore and Sam.
Oh my God, I felt like I just won.
What?
I can't believe can't believe I'm being thanked. Or some people are being thanked. Like, wow, you like the porn awards and you walk across, and I'm always shocked that people actually accept these. That's how I feel right now.
Well, yes, all the people that you mentioned and then some. We always do the mockery thread every time he's live. This week coming up, he is live again. If you have an
he's
idea,
gonna not come on. He's gonna take a fucking Mayday vacation.
I wouldn't be surprised. But
No.
What's the schedule based on your projections? Sorry, we are talking about projection.
Oh my God. So I keep a record of calendars for the past 3 years, and Filmer's seen them.
Yeah.
He's going to work the first 3 weeks in June and then take a week off. But then July and August, we have like 2 weeks off for July 4th, 2 weeks on. 2 weeks off, 2 weeks on.
Mm-hmm.
So we only get half the time in July and August. But he'll be back next week and then probably a week off after that, if not the week after.
And we're also I don't think he's going to come back.
You think tomorrow's going to be a sick day?
It's not tomorrow. It's
Monday, for me, it's over here. It's tomorrow for you guys. It's it is for you. It's
Sunday
right now.
It's
it's Sunday for you guys. Yeah, shit. Yeah, it's already Sunday here, guys.
If he can ignore riots and protests, he can ignore blackface and Twitter and anything he wants because he controls everything there.
I almost wish we could release this in reverse order.
I know.
But the blackface stuff, and I would just say anybody, even after this is released, which will be about a week later by the time you hear this, I believe, or within a week or so, everybody just get on Twitter, stay on it, get on the NAACP, get on every council you can think of, especially the more vocal ones, and really just hold his feet to the fire, because like I said, there's no excuse for him not to take some residual shit for this, because he's done so much worse. And
I went on every single sponsor that I've heard him plug in the last whatever, and have given them so much shit on Twitter. Just bury this fucker. Bury this fuck.
Cardine will have to go back to shitting soon. It's astounding to me. So I want to thank Raven for dropping in, and this was a very spur of the moment type thing, actually. Even though she's had plans to upgrade her sound, which she did, and applause to her, applause.
And you sounded.
Thank you.
Yes,
I love it.
And And so she will. The next step is to get Josie Wales to come on with us, and I will have
let's get Josie.
The whole coven will be complete, and I'll be Jack Nicholson and
coven. What is this? A fucking Robin Foundation? No, thank you.
I was just thinking of what was the film that he did with the Witches of Eastwick?
Witches of Eastwick.
Yeah, and anyway, it's that's I'm going deep into the 80s shit movie references. This is going to be, again, one of 3 parts. Guys, please join us on the Facebook page. Quite frankly, a Howard Stern podcast. We do the mockery thread that Raven heads up along with Josie Wales and many others. And she's the one to start it. She does all the Photoshops, and pretty soon, I believe, she gets the Photoshops on there. She's going to be doing her own, I think, before long. How is that coming, by the way? The dabbling.
Once I finish my yard work for the week, I'm going to start practicing on your tutorial video. I got a tutor for Photoshops.
Oh my God, I got a tutor for clips. He does a good job.
He's great. He does it all.
Let's virtual hand slap. Boom! He did it.
I'm a Jim of some trades.
Fillmore is our.
I've always admired Photoshop that people can do, and I'm excited to start trying. I got some good ideas for movies and music, albums and posters.
Yes, I will tell everybody. I do 99% of everything I do is on my phone, so it's not. You don't need Photoshop. You just need substitutes, and you need your imagination. The conceit, it should be funnier than good. And as long as it's funny, it doesn't need to be particularly good.
I want to learn how to Photoshop, so you better teach me that too.
Can you send her the same video? I don't know if I still have it.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Is it like Danielson, wax on, wax off? Let's do it.
Yeah, you want no, it's not Ching Chong Charlie. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. So thank you all, and tune in and check us out on Spotify and Podbean. We're on YouTube as well. You're going to be listening to this already. You know where to go. And that didn't sound right. Here's a quarter. Call someone who cares. Sam is on Twitter at Sammy Therese. I'm also on Twitter at Fillmore Fingers. And Sam's a lot better and faster and more timely with her Twitter than I am. I still have it for the purposes of messages and stuff. But if you're on Facebook, you can also PM me through there. And any suggestions for future shows, you can leave them on our YouTube channel, but also, of course, Facebook. And even on our Podbean app. Please, everybody, send us those likes, and please send us the comments on Podbean. That will always help. We're also on Spotify, of course, and a host of other podcast providers. So thanks, everybody, for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.